You can throw it on the character sheet and the actual character stuff if you want. Because you can put it in as a PDF, I think. I didn't do it with handouts. Anyway, okay,
Yeah.
cool. So if you want to just tell us a little bit about each of your characters real quick.
Right. Yeah, go ahead, Chad.
Okay. I am playing, his name is Tug. He's a big bruiser guy. I mean, he's just a wall of meat. But he has a sort of quiet intelligence about him. But he's the crew's heavy. And when somebody needs to get hurt in a very loud manner, you call him in. And he just starts punching people and gets teeth flying.
Is there anything? Background doesn't it?
Yeah, he's from the city. He's been part of the underworld. He's an orphan, and he just grew up with crime. He's not very subtle, but he has no connection with any of the magical, spiritual stuff. He does not understand it in any way. But after part of his vice is that he goes out to this grotto behind, it's everyone goes to the tavern, everyone's going to they're going to spend all their money on whores and drinks and everything, and he walks right past it by himself into a grotto, and where a cloaked figure meets him, and he doesn't know why, he can't tell anyone about it, and he keeps it to himself, but in reality, he has no idea what happens there. He has no memory of it. He doesn't like thinking about it.
Well, that happens to him regularly, or that happened to him like once?
It happens to him regularly. It's like after each job, you know how everybody goes out and it's just we're just going to buy all kind of whores. He's like, yeah, let's go get some whores. And then he just walks right on past the brothel.
Instead of blackout drunk, you're just blackout walking through the grotto.
Yep. And there's a guy there, and then people followed him, see what was up, and then there's this guy there, and then they're like, I don't know, we lost him. How can you lose him? They were standing there. I don't know.
But that's not something he would tell us, probably, or he would.
It's kind of one of those open secrets. It's like he does not like particularly talking about it, and he's a big mean guy, so not a whole lot of people are going to call him on it. Yeah. So it's for him, it's the elephant in the room.
Okay.
And Max, you said you uploaded yours?
Yeah, it's in the characters under the journal part of D20.
Oh, okay, under journal. Okay.
It has a little picture.
Okay, so yeah, we put some of the stuff. Vampire. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to be playing, his name is Drob Slain. He goes by the Great Drob. He's kind of like a fortune teller, gypsy, Houdini type person, but mostly like the emphasis on the spiritual connection since he's a whisper. He's 5'9", so he's kind of short, 160 pounds, kind of just like, I don't know, I'm thinking like Houdini here, basically. Mm-hmm. He's from Tykeros, which is kind of like a demonic kind of wasteland or something, it says on here. And so like his demonic feature, I don't know if this works for you, Michael, but like he has like claws, kind of. Okay. Like cat claws, kind of.
Fact about Houdini, great escape artist, good technical magician, terrible showman as a magician.
Really?
But he would do tricks that were incredibly impressive if you happened to be sitting in the very few seats in the audience where you could see it.
Right.
He did card tricks to 20,000 people.
People were like, well, he has nothing better to do.
Well, apparently it was like really good if you happened to be able to tell what was going on.
Right. Background, underworld, also kind of like just a shady figure. His vice is lovers. He has them all over, and a lot of them are scorned women. And hell hath no fury like a scorned woman. Mm-hmm. Special abilities, ritual. I'm not sure. I think you were saying, Michael, that we could kind of just make that up as we play. It's kind of just like an incantation, I think. They're like an ability to do like a spell, and it costs stress depending on how effective it is. What else? Oh, Strange Friends, Skurlock, a vampire. I think we'll build that more as we play, too, if we need to. Items, Bowie knife, throwing knives, burglary tools, arcane implements, and a spirit anchor, which is supposed to like keep spirits close. That's about it. How about you, Ron? What
Okay.
you got?
So I am playing Jackson Breghammer, also known as Kama. This is his alias. He is an athletic man, with a hard body and hard and determined look. Dusky skin, um, brown eyes, and he shaves his head bald. So basically, if you guys are watching any football at all, he's basically built like an NFL wide receiver. So
Cool.
kind of
So a little guy.
little tall. um, uh, taller than average. Definitely muscular, but not not a huge guy.
Not a lineman. Yeah.
Right. He is he's a bounty hunter by trade who was a member of some military organization. I want to say maybe the Navy, who mustered out. Maybe honorably, maybe not quite so. He has a really strange relationship with the faith of the old gods. He goes around, hunting these criminals by any means necessary. Yet at the same time, he has this sense of he has a confused sense of faith. So that's his vice. He finds himself. His parents, or at least his mother, was a believer in the forgotten gods, and so he's still trying to figure that out for himself too.
All right.
He normally carries himself. He normally carries a blade or two and a fine long rifle, which he does his sniping. And one of his closest friends, per se, is a female bounty hunter named Casta.
Cool.
That's it.
All right. So, Diamond Dogs, you are a relatively small gang, one that has been making a little bit of a name for yourself, trying to grab some territory. Right now, there are a ton of other organizations, that most of which don't really have time necessarily for you until you have grown a bit further. You did sort of luck out, though. There's a boathouse that you have that's actually was an old smuggler's den that's part of the docks. It's one of those places that there are people who know where it's at, but it allows you to sort of come and go through some of the canals in the city without people sort of seeing where you're going from. So starting out in a bit of a hidden place is good. Unfortunately, you had some problems with the Foghounds, another group that takes the docks as well. Kind of a complete pain in your ass, and this is the time where you've decided now you're going to do something about it. If you look over here on the claims, so down here on the lower right, so we all see the little grid?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You have decided that you are going to hopefully knock the Foghounds down a bit, perhaps get closer to getting rid of them entirely, and one of the best ways to do that is to start by taking something that belongs to them. Now, you start off with your lair, and as you notice, you can go, there's the fences, the turfs, you can kind of follow those things. What is it that you would like to take?
Well, I think that maybe we should take the street fence, because that'll deprive them of money. It'll allow us to get money in. I think that if we take like the luxury fence, that might be aiming a little too high.
Yeah, so less like luxury fence is more of like the difference between the two of them. Street fence is when you rob individuals. Luxury fence is when you rob houses.
Well, I guess that's the question. What are we doing? Are we
I think we should go for.
are we robbing houses, or are we?
I think we're trying to move up. I think we've been robbing people in the street for a while now. It's time to like step out.
No, I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's time to, it's time to be done with these small time jobs.
Right.
We're clearly too important people to
We're
be.
too good. We're too good.
Yes, exactly. So
we're going luxury fence, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah.
Okay. So you decided to go after the luxury fence is someone who has worked for the Foghounds for quite some time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to for him actually. Now the way this works, I know Ron, have you played Wilderness of Mirrors?
not officially.
Okay. If you ever have a chance, great. It's a fantastic game.
I played a Fate. I played a Fate game with a Wilderness of Mirrors hack.
Be interesting. So this, in some respects, can be like a reverse Wilderness of Mirrors. Wilderness of Mirrors starts off the player the players get a one sentence. Here's what you're going to do, and then they tell the GM, this is our plan. Like the first part of it is the planning phase.
Right.
Then you get a die for everything that you do, for everything in the plan, and then every 20 minutes, the difficulty to do something goes up by 5.
Yeah. Familiar with it.
That's also a possibility to look at. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put down a couple, in order to take it over, I'm going to put out a couple of the clocks. And the clocks are going to be things that have to be done. How you want to do them is up to you and your characters. If you have characters that are all more like social stealth stuff, they might steal and charm people or threaten them. If they're more, ass kickers, you can go in and kick some ass. So we'll have here Foghound Resistance. The Foghound Resistance is going to be the 6 one here. The Fence himself will go with, what's a good name for Fence?
Jimmy Fingers.
Chain Link.
Jimmy Fingers himself is not hugely loyal. He himself will just have a 4. So for this, now this is one of these things where if you're able to do, and some of it depends on what it is that you've decided that you are going to, how you're going to do it. If you decide we're going to bring him in some business and make some money on these things, but it's not a whole lot, it would be you're essentially making a lesser impact on it. Whereas if you're able to bring in something huge, you could consider being sort of a greater impact, which can be quite a bit more as far as those ticks go. So, like a lesser, let me find the actual right thing. Lesser is 1, then you've got the, so it should be, oops, wrong one. It should be in, I'll just pull it up here real quick. So the amount, limited effect does 1 tick, standard does 2, greater effect has 3. So essentially, if you're able to come in with something that makes sense, that this would be kind of an awesome change for it, you can kind of tick off 3 of those. So
3 of what's the clock?
3 in the clock is once the clock gets down to 0, you've essentially beat either the Foghound Resistance, and there's you can decide a number of ways to sort of do that, or Jimmy Fingers' willingness to help you. You're sort of a new and upcoming crew. So at this point, if you take a look at planning and engagement real quick, this game takes the same thing that Leverage does. It's better to get straight into it. So what you guys will be able to decide is how it is you want to try to get this fence away from the dogs.
Well, let's think about this.
I kind of like the idea of going loud and flashy right out the gate. Because I think that if we can get this fence on our side immediately, just sort of out of nowhere, that might get the Foghounds to respond in kind. But they're responding. We know how they're going to respond. They're going to come after us, and we could plan for that and take them on.
You want them to come to us, and that's when we like deal with them, or should
Yeah.
we just go in and try to take their thing? Like,
Well, what I'm saying is that we go. I'm not exactly sure how, but we go to Jimmy Fingers. We make him ours, and we make him ours very thoroughly. The Foghounds come. We know they're going to come at us for revenge and to teach
Yeah.
us a lesson, and they come into a trap. Then we're ready for them.
sure. Okay, so how do we make Jimmy ours? Like,
What do we know about him?
name's Jimmy Fingers.
Well, I would say in some respects, so you've got a number of different sort of paths you can take. Jimmy Fingers himself, this point we can kind of show you how a bit of it works. How do you want to try to find out more about Jimmy Fingers? Jimmy Fingers is defense because he works with because he takes stuff out of the homes. He prefers to work with crews that are relatively skilled and be able to kind of get in and get stuff out without leaving a lot of stuff behind. So he prefers a little bit of trust in the groups, in the gang's ability to not essentially screw things up so badly that people come after him.
So we're trying to work for him, right?
Well, you kind of want to make him your fence as opposed to the Foghounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to pull off a sweet job in order to convince him,
Yeah.
which we could totally do.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. That'd be fun.
Yeah. And,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Another way we could approach it, too, because I do like that idea, but what we could also do is we could try and find out a job that the Foghounds
You're
are going to
talking about.
do, and then we
Do
could
it.
sabotage. We could either
Yeah.
do their job,
Do
kill
jobs.
them first,
We should
or
fuck theirs
sabotage
up.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should mess their job up.
In fact, why don't we...
We should mess theirs up first and then do the same job and do it
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
You
yeah,
see,
I
you
think-
should have hired us in the first place.
Right.
What? How
Yeah.
about we do that? How about we go to them and say, hey, we put some feelers out. We kind of get an idea of what the next job for them is going to be. Then we go to Jimmy Fingers and we say, hey, we're a tight crew. We can get this done for you, no problem. Those Foghounds, those guys are asshats. They don't know shit. And he'll of course blow us off. We're nobody to him. He blows us off. Then we go sabotage their stuff.
Like Home
Totally
Alone
screw
style.
them over. Then we go in behind them, steal everything, and if he asks, hey, did you sabotage these guys? Why would we do that? We don't want to cause any
How are we
trouble.
going to sabotage though without them knowing it's us?
That's a good question.
Okay,
Well,
'cause
to a degree, this is also where you can get into you can do flashbacks throughout to sort of show, oh, this is how we can pin it on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like, was the first part you wanted to talk to the Foghounds about what their things are coming
No,
up?
no, we want to put out some subtle feelers, use our contacts, find out what is Jimmy Fingers and the Foghounds planning.
Okay.
So we know what they're planning, and then we can go to Jimmy Fingers and say, hey, we heard this. We could do it better. And,
Okay.
and he's going to blow us off.
Okay, so essentially, so this is the way this kind of works, because this wants to get you in the middle of the action as sort of quickly as possible. So what we're going to do is you've got two things that you're doing to start off with. One, try to figure out what the Foghound's next job is going to be from Jimmy. Then two, approach him and kind of get him ready for it. Now what this will let you do is, if you succeed on these, this will raise or lower your engagement roll. And what the engagement roll does is, like, you see them essentially, like, you'll go up, you'll do your, like, talk to them, try to figure out what's going on, talk to Jimmy Fingers. The engagement roll then tells us, when we cut to the action, are things going in your favor? Are they going against you? Are you on equal footing with the Foghounds, or has things gone very, very poorly?
Mhm.
So what we do is those first two bits of it. So who is going to try to get out some feelers to figure out what it is that Jimmy's needing them to do?
we could just talk to him. I don't know how approachable he is, but
Yeah.
or we could just use our friends.
Yeah. How about we try and lean on some of our contacts? What do you guys have for contacts and
I know a vampire.
ability to talk to people?
So I know a bounty hunter. don't know how good that'll do us.
I know an extortionist, so she might be able to give us some advice. I don't know
Yeah.
about.
Well, I mean, all the people you know, you got some general feelers out. So we can do is going to show you how it works. Who do we want to have go checking on that, and then who do we want to have talk? And who we have multiple people also. Who wants to go check for talk to Jimmy?
I think I can talk to the contacts. One of you guys should talk to Jimmy.
I can go and.
Or you both could go.
I think. Yeah.
I could go and spy on like the Foghounds. Just like go into a tavern and just hang out and back. I'm not really a I talk with my fists sort of guy, so.
Fair enough. None of us is very charismatic, I don't think.
None of us very charismatic, but at least I have some ability to discern somebody's intentions, and that may be useful in social situations. So.
Yeah.
Gotta start somewhere.
You want to talk to Jimmy or the contacts for Ron?
Um.
Or for
I think I'm gonna talk to the I'm gonna hit up my vampire friend Skurlock
Yeah,
and see if he's
you
heard anything.
go ahead and do that for you.
Yeah. All right, Max, why don't you go and talk to your contacts? Ron, why don't you go and talk to Jimmy Fingers?
Right. And you
Right.
you spy on the Foghound.
And I'll spy on the Foghounds.
All right, cool. So we have each of these individual. We can take these starting off one at a time, and we'll say that they're able to get some of the information to Ron, because you're not going to do all this at once. You're going to want to go in knowing some stuff. So this can give Ron a bit of an advantage when he talks to Jimmy. Max, Skurlock. What does Skurlock do to make? What does he do for a living?
Well, he's a vampire, so he drinks blood for a living.
Well, that's how he stays alive. But how does?
Yeah, right.
What does he do for
He kind of he's like a sneak. Like he'll just during the night he'll kind of just lurk in the shadows and listen to what people are saying. Because he's just kind of lonely. Like he misses talking to people normally. I assume there's some sort of stigma against vampires.
No,
Yeah,
people love them. They hire them as nannies.
Yeah, right. Like
often a vampire is someone if you've got a soul has taken over a body that's died. They can kind of come back
Okay.
if a ghost has taken over, they can become a vampire. So this point, he's actually managed to keep his his body died soon enough that he hadn't gone insane, which is what eventually happens to ghosts. But so being a vampire has sort of helped him keep him sane.
Okay, I was thinking I have this some sort of magical item that does something. Like I have what's it called, a spirit anchor. So maybe I've kind of hooked him with my spirit anchor. Like he's some sort of urchin vampire that I met.
Well, his thing is he doesn't have to be anchored because he's in his host.
Oh, okay.
He's not a free roaming vapor in Ghostbusters terms. You do know that he often hangs out at the Nail and Bottle, which is one of the taverns in town. You kind of go in. He's hanging out kind of towards the back.
In the shadows.
Yeah, he's got a drink in front of him that he kind of pretends to sip from time to time. As you go in, his eyes like puppy after you've been gone at work all day. He's like, hey man, hey, how are you?
I'm all right, Skurlock. How are you?
Good. I just get the ear to the grindstone, finding out stuff. So hey, what brings you out to brings you out here? I don't often see you in this part of town.
I lean over and I slide I just slide a tarot card across the table, and then he turns it over and it's the devil, and I'm like, things are about to get serious. We're moving up. We're going after Jimmy Fingers' connection.
Trying to break your chains. This is dangerous. Can work out well for you if you screw this up. But you're going after Jimmy Fingers.
We're not going to screw this up, Skurlock. And then I'm lean back casually and be like, but I'm going to need your help. So what have you heard about the the fog hounds, and what properties they're looking at lately.
Okay, well, to see how much he knows in some respects here, what you want to do, what stat-wise, did you put your character into the... into the thing? So what we want to have here, then...
I put my character in Roll20, yeah.
Okay. So it looks like you're kind of going more towards consort here to kind of get your friend. Do you have anything in that?
No.
More sway?
Trying to think what I had. Well, I just wonder if there's some sort of spiritual connection here too. Like, what's the deal with this ghost spirit? Because I do have communicating with spirit kind of abilities, like a tune or something.
Okay. Yeah, those would be more like the spirits themselves. Once they're a vampire, there are spirits.
Oh, it's just like a person, who drinks blood. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, can I still roll in things that I don't have any bonuses in?
Well, the attitude and behaviors with charm, manipulation, or bravado, seducer, lure, make a convincing case. Sway can work with that as well.
I have slip. I guess I'm being a little. Sneaky.
What do you have as far as the because that's more of a. What do you have as far as your finesse?
Yeah, slip is under finesse.
Yes. Set that up. Did I put the actions on there? Yes. Slip. A little more to do with.
Physical.
What do you have as far as its social?
Yeah, hold up. Let me. I have cipher. Is that
Yeah. I mean, it's
more documents and stuff, right?
It's unfortunate. This is the previous one. Yeah, those would be ciphers, information with documents and academic knowledge. Go ahead for right now. Let's go ahead and roll your slip because I think I'd switch over to sway. This is one where since you're on the
oh, maybe they're the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I don't know, man. So what you want to do is for anytime you roll the dice here, you roll 1d6 for each dot you have in the action. You can do another 1 dice if you push yourself and you take 2 stress.
Okay.
You already rolled. You won't have to. A 6 means use whatever's the highest dice that you get. Now, it's in a controlled situation right now. You're not looking particularly risky. You're able to get it. If you get more than 1 6, you get a critical.
Cool.
So in this case, you just use the highest. So is just so happens that I talked to some of the people. There's someone's been talking to Jimmy recently. There's this captain. This guy's not necessarily good on Christoph. Christoph, from what I've been told, recently went and talked to your friends. His ward boss, Finn, White Crown. He's got some stuff that he needs stolen from him. Like stuff directly. I have a feeling he's trying to set up this ward boss to go down. And if his ward boss goes down, Kristoff's able to kind of walk in over Finn. And as far as I've been told, he went to Jimmy about getting a crew to do it. And right now, I got to say the Foghounds are probably the person who is in the best place to do that.
So you're telling me that Kristoff wants someone to steal from Finn, and Kristoff is talking to Jimmy about having someone do it.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Foghounds.
Pretty standard setup. This stuff, able to put that up there, make him look like he's a fool. He screwed something up. He goes down. Kristoff walks over him.
What are they trying? What's the item that needs moved?
I don't know.
What are we trying to steal?
I don't know exactly what it was. I just heard some people talking about it. It's been going around, but whatever it is, is enough to maybe bring down Finn. So, got to be something.
What do you know about Kristoff?
Kristoff's one of those guys. I've seen him around. Kristoff's one of those guys. He wants to be a big shot, but he ain't ready for it. And frankly, if he gets in, I think a lot of us are going to be a bit better because he's going to be in over his head. We just got to worry. He's either going to go crazy, nuts, and start, trying to crack down on people way too much, or he's going to realize that his pocket's a better line through people like us. So
And cool. Yeah. So I like share a glass of blood with Skurlock. Appreciate his information. I'm kind of a weirdo.
okay.
Drink a glass of goat's blood while he drinks whatever he does. And then the only question I would have remain is where can I find Kristoff and Finn Whitecrown?
No, not hard to find. I give you some information if you're in there, because he's one of the guards who tells you where you can find him.
Oh, okay.
He's not hard to find from the ward boss. You can kind of go to the precinct, you'll find him. So Chad,
Yes.
you've been listening in. You're at one of the places that the Foghounds like to congregate. They are kind of in their drinks and shooting off their mouths, and the biggest thing here is if they actually see you or not. Thistle has been quite loud, kind of talking about some plan. As he's like, no, this is what we got to do, man. And as he's talking a bit, we got to find out if anyone are you simply trying to be stealthy and hidden, or are you there? Like, how are you trying to like?
I am sitting at a table alone near them, but not like right in the light. I'm just kind of pretending to mind my own business while listening in.
Okay, so this sort of sounds. Are you hoping for double up? They don't hear you, or if they happen to get into like a confrontation, that's fine with you.
You know, if they want to get into a confrontation with me, yeah, that's perfectly okay.
Okay,
It's going to be really hard to pick a lock with broken fingers.
true. Considering your, go ahead and make a prowl roll.
Okay.
So do you have anything in prowl?
Nope.
Okay. If you don't have anything, you can go ahead and roll a dice. If you don't have anything in it.
I just roll one die.
Yeah, well, actually, the other thing you can do here, if you don't have anything, if you want them to notice you, we can forego the rolling. But if you want to see if you happen to catch it without, yeah. So basically, what you can do is spend. Oh yeah, this is what you have to do. You can either take 2 stress to push yourself so that you can maybe remain hidden. There's no one there to assist you. You could also do there's a devil's bargain where I can give you a bargain of some sort that if you take it, you get a die.
Yeah.
Or if you want to be seen, that's fine too.
Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to try. I'm going to let them see me.
Yeah, Thistle's just kind of going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like waving my hat around and pulling my shirt up or anything. I'm just sitting here. But I'm obviously in their territory, in their bar.
Okay. So at one point, the Thistle's like, yeah, you know what? We can take more than that because there's going to have. Once we get it, we know where they're all at, and one of them kind of turns and sees you, and just kind of growls at Thistle. He's like, "Right now, you're gonna shut your damn face." Hey, man. Hey, Crow. You know what, man? They ain't shit. We're gonna be able to take because he's fucking hammered. Crowl's a bastard. You've met him before.
Yeah.
Not a good guy. He likes to kind of throw down and fight. He's not nearly as good at it as you are. But he kind of turns and notices like you. This is Foghound's territory. What are you doing here?
Having a drink. What are you doing here?
A couple of them kind of gather around. It's like, oh, we got a diamond dog here. You as tough as diamonds? Is that what it is? Kind of looks at your drink, puts a finger on the lip of it, starts to sort of tip it towards you. Not a lot.
I look at him and I say, you could either tip that drink over on me, or you could pull the glass out of your face. And then I'm going to use my sway on him. Basically just kind of try to intimidate him, ignoring the other guys, just focusing right on him.
Okay. And I think you've got that thing that means
I've got not to be trifled with. That's the one where in melee combat you and your team ignore the effects due to scale.
Okay. And I'll kind of let that apply here. I mean, just like they kind of know enough about you as a fighter that even though you've got this many people around, they're like maybe not the person that they want to get into a thing with. So a little more intimidated. So yeah, basically be like I'm gonna give them like a four count essentially.
Okay.
For theirs. To see if you want to get information.
Okay.
So yeah, basically you're able to do. If you have something that lets you do like a great amount, you can do more. But like it gives you like a basic of 2.
Okay. So I roll 2 dice.
Yeah, 2 dice. If you've got anything that can, if anything you have that gives you sort of advantage, I don't know if you got some like items or weapons to do, but it sounds like you're just intimidating them.
Yeah.
Yep. So you want to roll your 2 dice. You can give yourself 2 stress if you want to push yourself, or you can just take devil's bargain or just a 2.
I'll just take 2.
Mhm.
No, how do I roll that?
Slash roll 2d6.
Oh.
Oh, so 4 is your highest.
Yep, 4 is highest.
Okay. 4, you do it, but there's a consequence.
Okay.
Yeah, so in this we'll say, so what you're going to end up doing, a consequence, I'm going to go ahead and give you sort of the 2 points on there, but like a couple of them sort of back up, and then the one who's got it takes it and just throws it so it just, the glass strikes you dead on in the face. So at this point, what you can do is you can take 1 stress from that. You can make a resistance roll if you want to there, which would be a vigor. Or I'm sorry, not a resistance. Yeah, I'm sorry, not that. This is one that's changed. You can suffer harm, which would be a so each character sheet, if you look at it, there's a harm, a place with harm on it. Where's that at?
It's on the left side in the middle.
Oh, yep. That's funny. They've actually switched. Unless I'm actually looking at the wrong. I might be looking at the wrong one. This is the problem when some of them are from the wrong thing. Yep. So what we can do is give you a black eye. You can either take a black eye as a strike. So it's a reduced effect, which means there's possibly like a combat or something that might make a bit of a difference because of like the soreness or if you get struck. You could also make a resistance roll with your vigor to not take the harm. Which if you make that roll, you'll take stress, which is 6 minus whatever you roll.
Okay.
And then you take some stress as opposed to taking harm.
I'll do the vigor. I'll try and make that roll.
So make that roll.
Is that 2d6 or?
No, it's what is your vigor total? You want to look at how many of the skills under vigor do you have at least 1 dot in?
I have 2 skills that have 2 dots in them.
Okay, so the first one gives you a dot in vigor. So the first of each. So you have roll 2d6.
Okay. A 4 and a 1 again. No, I'm sorry. 5 and a 4.
Okay. So you will take 1 stress.
Okay.
Instead, as I must, do you catch it or bat it away, like as it's coming towards you, as opposed to getting actually struck by it and taking some harm?
No, I get struck by it. It hits me right in the face, and I just don't care. I just look right at him. Don't even flinch. There's blood, and I point my finger at him, and I go, "You got 2 little bitches here backing you up. So if you do that again, you'll win. You'll take me out. You'll stab me, shoot me, kick me, whatever. But I'm going to kill you."
All right, so that makes it sound like you would be rolling.
Sway?
Yep, that sounds good.
4 and a 2.
Okay, that will actually sort of be enough on there, since that would be you do it, but there's a consequence. I'm gonna say this: you don't take any harm from it, but there is someone who kind of overhears and sort of leaves rushes out of the bar.
Yeah.
Who's kind of quicker, so the Diamond Dogs are going to be aware that you are maybe going to be a problem.
The Foghounds, yeah.
Yeah, and so the guy's like, kind of looks over. He's like, "We can be cool, man. We don't need any trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just want to, leave our Leave my territory.
I wipe some blood on my face,
Mhm.
wipe the blood on a napkin, and I throw it at the bartender, like that's my payment, and then I walk out the door.
Okay. And as you're walking out, because you're trying to get information, so you'll end up getting that. As you're walking that, it's like, man, you know what? Man, when we get those stash combinations and locations, man, we'll have enough money to just sink them. The guy's like, shut the fuck up, Thistle. As you end up walking out. So when you guys get back together and let Jackson know. So apparently they're going after safe and locations and combinations. That is the kind of thing that does get you fired quite hard if that gets out.
So did it sound like they had the combinations?
Not yet. It sounds like from what he was talking about going once we steal it when you first got in there. So it sounds like that's what they're actually being sent to steal.
The combination itself, not the safe, not the contents of the safe, is it?
At least the information. You kind of know how things work enough that something has to go missing. If he just walks in and like, I found these books or this information taken by this gang, but nothing's been stolen, it looks a little more suspicious. But if some stuff has been stolen and he tracks them down, maybe a scapegoat or something, and then is able to turn it in, they found this thing that his boss screwed up, well, that makes you look very good. So not quite sure what he's going to do with it, but...
Okay, so in this guy's office, we'll say, is a safe. Nobody has the combination to it yet. What they are trying to do is they're trying to sneak into the office, crack the safe open, steal one or two things, not for profit, but to make this guy look bad. Is that right?
You're not quite sure because you just got a bit of it. I mean, there's at least something with safe locations and combinations. So there's something they're going after. You don't have all of it yet. However, you probably know more than Jimmy is going to be comfortable other people knowing.
Okay. So if you can go in there and just lay out the information you have very slowly, pretend like you know more, and just let him start talking, then you could probably get in there.
I bet Kristoff knows the combination, right? Isn't he like Finn's right-hand man or something? He's trying to like take over? Or I guess he would have done it himself if he knew the combo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just wondering what we do after that. But yeah.
Sorry, how does Kristoff fit in here again? So I can make sure I have my...
Right.
Kristoff... Oh, sorry.
Okay, so my impression is that Finn Whitecrown is this guy who has the safe in his office.
Whitecrown is actually one of the districts of the city. Finn is the ward boss.
Oh, Finn is the ward boss, and there's something in his safe that someone wants to steal to make him look bad.
Oh, for Whitecrown. Someone wants to steal. Someone wants to make him look bad by stealing something out of his safe.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, and he has this, I guess, employee who also wants to.
Yeah, because he has an employee. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get into the safe and either steal something they could use to blackmail him, or steal some stuff that should not get out. It's not like a diamond, it'll be like log books or something.
It'll be information.
Right. And if he loses that and can't produce it, he's going to get fired or jailed or whatever they do to the people here. And his subordinate is going to get promoted.
Okay, yeah. So we have to essentially...
So what we want to do is we want to make
Jimmy,
the Diamond Dogs look bad.
No, the Foghounds.
The Foghounds.
I'm sorry, the Foghounds. We want to make them look bad. We want to make us, the Diamond Dogs, look good. So...
I mean, the Foghounds were just yakking about it so they're already like amateurs, clearly.
Yeah. They're clearly rank amateurs.
Right.
So
we
what
can do
we
this.
could do is we can go to Jimmy Fingers and we could say, hey, you know what? We're better. We could do this job. And he's going to do one of two things. He's either going to throw you out, or he'll hire us to do it. If he hires us to do it, we do it, and we just do it like pros. If he throws you out, then what we could do,
Then we sabotage them.
sabotage him. Yeah, and then we
Should
make.
we just do it anyway, or should we like and then just go to him with?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Like, so if he throws us out and we sabotage him, what we could do is we could try and find out what the combination is. When the Foghounds go to steal it, we change the combination on them to where they can't get in the safe. But we know what the real combination is. We call the cops or whatever, and then get the night security guard to step on them, whatever. Run them off, and then we sneak in. We know the combination. We open it up. We steal it. We go to Jimmy Fingers saying, hey, I hear your boys screwed up. We're here cleaning up their mess. We're doing it for you.
How do we change?
Anyway, that's just a general
Yeah.
idea, you know. And we don't. There's so many variables here that we don't understand yet.
Sure. I mean, I think, yeah, Kama should just go talk to him, I guess, and we'll see what
Right.
Yeah.
comes of that.
Play it loose, see how he reacts.
We talk to him. We dangle what little information that we have as potential leverage, and see how things fall out.
Oh. So you were going to go talk to him, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I don't have to be the only one. Chad can come with me, or
Yeah.
whatever your name is.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, it might be a good idea that all three of us go. Ron, how about you talk to him, but all three of us will go in case the Foghounds are there. You know, might need.
Yeah, that's true. We can just go through.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool. And maybe we can like look around Jimmy's place too. I don't know. Like
Right.
we're there.
All right, so that's what we're doing.
Oh.
You know what, Max? I'm thinking. Ron talks to him. I play Ron's big silent bodyguard. You sneak in back,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
and you try to dig up whatever you can on Jimmy Fingers in his back
Yeah.
office while we're talking to him.
That sounds like a good call. Cool.
Works for me.
So how do we have we have our boat, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
lets you move through parts of the city pretty easily.
So let's row our boat over to Jimmy Fingers' little doorstep, his canal dock. I don't know.
Okay.
All right.
So we've got Max sort of sneaking in the back, and we've got the two of you talking to Jimmy.
Fingers. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So Max, what kind of stuff are you looking for?
I just want to snoop around Jimmy's place and kind of see what kind of stuff he's moving, who works there. Maybe talk to some people if they're maybe there's some employees there who are just over it and are willing to talk to somebody. I don't know how on guard his domain is.
Or maybe, sneak into his bedroom, find a diary.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we could go
Anything.
all out. Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
If he foolishly leaves a lot of diamonds around.
Take one or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're shady. We're shady. A shady
Yeah.
crew. I guess that's what's going on
Yep.
here.
Jimmy's he's kind of got the right mix of paranoid. So I've got a 6 o'clock for him. Now it's only 4 o'clock to kind of maybe get his attention, but we've got the two different things going on here. And essentially, if things start to go wrong with you, Max, it becomes. And actually, I'm gonna do this. So there's things to find out information about him, but then there's also, if you do things wrong, one of the things that's going to, different alarms and other stuff that he's got set up, you got a 4 count if things go poorly, where if that fills up, Jimmy finds, he hears alarms goes off, he knows something's going wrong. Someone a guard or someone will see it. So that's when things go wrong with what you're doing, that clock starts to fill.
Okay, but so he has traps and stuff. Or you're talking about guards? I guess what are you
He's
talking
got
about?
this, you kind of know that he's there's a warehouse that he's got that's sort of attached to his apartment. There's things he kind of moves in and out. Part of it's a legitimate business, like a very small part of it's a legitimate business that, frankly, very little people buy from. But it's a good front for what his actual money is. He has some guards. He's got some alarms, some stuff that's electric, some that's mechanical, some that's like a little bit of magic. A lot of money comes through there, and he's connected to a lot of people, and he's got the right kind of paranoia that kind of keeps you alive. So we will have these two different things going on roughly at the same time. I'm going to grab a drink real quick, and then we'll go in to see how you do with Jimmy.
Okay.
Alright.
Cool.
I'm going to go grab a drink myself.
Heck yeah.
Max, what's your character's name?
It's what is it? I wrote it down. Drav, the Great Slain. It's in if you go into the roll d20 thing and then you click on journal, there's like thing that says Blades in the Dark, and it's like the first character underneath there. There should be a little picture next to him.
Okay. Wait. Maybe not. I'm in roll 20, and
Under journals, like there's like the newspaper kind of like icon.
right.
You click on that, and then open up characters, and then open up Blades in the Dark, which is like the first. I don't know, at least on my screen, that's how it looks.
Yeah. Oh, the character doesn't show up for me.
Oh.
Only the one for me shows up.
I guess that
okay.
must be everybody's. Maybe I can move it to something else.
I don't know.
Let's see. Anyway, yeah, like I'm just kind of like a little. I don't know even how this is gonna go.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm sneaky, but I don't know what I'm. I don't know what I'm looking for. You know.
Yeah.
I'd say mostly information, not even like materials, but I guess if I see something nice.
The nice thing with the Apocalypse World style stuff is very quickly we just go, okay, I'm making a 4 count. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, that was the last long-term campaign I ran here, which is when we did the producers with Malia, Tim, Bradley, and Jason, was Apocalypse World.
You did it like themed, producers themed.
No, it was once I did the producers. That's we just got busy enough. That's the last time we're actually able to get like a regular game going outside of our short-lived Leverage.
Yeah, that was super fun, that game.
Mm-hmm.
I have returned.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's start with going in and talking to Jimmy. So when you kind of come in, Jimmy's at his desk, got a lot of papers and such, kind of looks up and is like, so how can I be helping you?
Jimmy, my man. How you doing today? And I'm by the way, I smoke a cigar, so I have one left.
Yeah, not a common. He's got like a glass of maybe scotch or something there. There's like a long thin cigarette sort of burning in a little ashtray next to him as he's doing some work. And so,
what does he look like?
Jimmy's kind of a bigger guy, pale like a lot of people in there, thinning hair, but does have like really sharp rat-like eyes. This is someone who appears to be sort of scouring the area around him quite a bit, because you are not someone who normally. I mean, you guys ever worked with him before?
Probably not. From talking before, it sounded like we do a lot of street level stuff, and we are making a play to move up.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's aware of you. You're starting to kind of come into this area. And as a matter of fact, if he was a fence that was further away, he'd have no clue who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of looks at you, so leans back, and just takes a drag. And keep him busy. Work is work. What can I... Then looks over at Tag in the doorway. I'm assuming you're here for business.
Well, of course we are. I believe we have what can I say? Offer that Well, you could refuse it, but would be a poor idea on your part.
All right, so you come here to give me an offer. And you who again? Time and Dogs? You got no rep. You got very little around here. You got what? Him standing over there in the corner like a badass. So before you start telling me what I can and can't do, I might actually tell me what it is you're thinking you'd like me to do.
Well, Jimmy, I understand that you are a busy man, and you consider a crew like the Diamond Dogs hardly worth your time. But you see, Jimmy, you'd be wrong because we are the greatest crew in the city.
We're the greatest crew of all time.
People just don't. People like you just don't realize it yet. However, you could be the first to recognize our greatness. What do you think about that?
Okay, which of your abilities do you want to use for that?
I really don't have anything that applies, so I think I'm angling for like a sway, even though I should be kind of going with a deceive at this point. But this is what I'm playing.
No, we are the best. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, we are the best.
I believe this wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
He's a man of faith too, or I guess confused faith, but what?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So sway sounds like the right thing here. You're trying to give him something, so you want to go ahead and make a roll.
Okay. All right.
So it sounds like you. What is your sway?
I don't have any. I'm not trained in that at all. However, can anyway Tack can give me a little bit of a assistance?
Well, let's see. You're the cutter that's in there.
Yeah.
Or that's Chad. Is your sheet up on the Google Docs?
Mine is. I don't think it is.
Okay. Because yeah, if it's one I could kind of check out, I might be able
Ron, share your screen with your sheet if you can.
Sure. No problem.
If I can see it, I can kind of help you find something that sort of fits.
Okay. Hangouts and screen share. Nope. Nope. Stop. It's actually in my separate tab.
Jackson Quama Berg hammer. A hammer so big it can smash a city.
Damn.
You're not a Berg, are you? Yeah, actually. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'll go do this. Drive. Sorry, give me a second here.
Okay.
Gaming.
I have a feeling this is a set of sheets that'll end up on Roll20 fairly quickly after, if not before, because the guy that does this does a lot on Roll20. But it'll be nice when they actually show up there because there's a lot on those sheets. Though you don't need a good portion of it.
Yeah, the way I feel like these games end up working out too, it's a lot of like, I don't know, just like whatever's fun.
Yeah, I know the Apocalypse World stuff got up there, but I think it's just the main one so far.
But if you're having trouble, Ron, I can have Tug come up and regulate on this guy.
Well, what is he rolling for? Are you rolling something, Ron?
Probably to see if you've got his interest. Because there's some stuff that, like, you've got some things that could, like, some of your finesse stuff, but also things like command might, sway could.
I got
What
it.
are you rolling for sway?
There.
Ah, good. Oh, awesome. There we go.
Oh, deceive.
Oh, it went away.
Oh, there we
we
go. Deceive might be good.
Oh, you should wait. You should have 4 more.
Yeah.
4 more points.
Oh, why did I think you said 2?
Well, there's 2, but then you get 1 for your background, 1 for your heritage, and then you get 4 more points to spend.
Oh, what? Oh, man.
Yeah, so everyone should have you
6.
start off with 2, and then you should have 6 more.
So we should have 8 total.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, do you want to put this in one that might fit here, Ron?
Yeah. So.
Because I can see command working here, sway,
Yeah.
maybe slip, which is one of the ones that changed from.
Slip. I think slip changed to sway.
Yeah, it
Because
did.
So
I have sway on mine.
yeah. So I'm just gonna say that I added a dot in sway.
Okay. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna give you this. Yours can actually be. It's a little risky, what you're doing, simply because. Pull this up. It's in the risky area, but because you have enough information, and particularly if you let them know, instead of doing like a regular, you can do a greater. Like if you drop some of the information that you know, you could actually get with 1 success. You can get 3 of his. You can get 3 of his things filled as opposed to 1 or 2.
Okay.
So basically, what you want to say to the guy, you want to be like, listen, we're badasses, we know it, but I understand you don't know.
You do it right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me lay this.
That's the angle I'm going after.
Yeah. Let me lay this knowledge on you that we should not have, which is proof why you should hire us.
Sure,
And we'll
right.
see what happens.
You should, yeah, so you can just say that right now from your corner where you're being a badass bodyguard. Because can't you guys support each other's roles or something? And then...
Mm.
You see, Jimmy. The Diamond Dogs we're an up and coming crew. We know things like, I don't know, maybe some locations, some combinations to certain safes in the city for certain prominent people.
At this point, he does sort of perk up a little bit.
Okay. See, so
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And Chad, if you even if it's sort of an imposing thing, you can take 1 stress to give him a die.
Okay. I'll give him a die because he's like trying to sway him,
Mm-hmm.
which means that he's just like the force of presence there, and I'm just kind of like, I kind of like circle around the shop looking around, but I'm looking at Jimmy Fingers. Like every time, it's just like I've got my eye, I'm boring through him with my eye.
Yeah, the stress here in this case is like this is a bit like if this goes wrong,
Right. Well, the stress is we're trying to convince this guy, and we don't have a whole lot of ammunition, and then one of our partners is in back
Mhm.
and could blow the whole thing. So I'm playing all cool and badass, but I'm like, yeah, am I gonna die tonight?
So yeah, so you're also partly like distracting him a bit as you're going back and as you're going through there. So you'll get 1 extra die on there.
Okay.
You also can, if you wish, you can push yourself for 2 stress and get another die. And I'm trying to think if there's be a good devil's bargain here, but I'm not at this moment thinking of one.
I'm fine with this as it stands.
Okay.
I'm fine with rolling 2 dice. Here.
Well, you get. How about did you put 1 or 2 into sway?
I put 1 in this way.
Okay, so you get that, and if you want to take 2 stress, you can add another dice.
And I took a stress to help him, so that.
Yeah, so
Okay,
he
you know what? Yeah, that would actually work because I'm also, of course, we're both aware of what's going on in the back. So,
Mhm.
Okay, so you get to roll 3 dice.
3 dice.
So if you have a black dot in the attribute, then you get to roll 2 dice for it, or just 1?
1 per dot.
Yeah, one per die.
Okay.
It's just the first dot goes for your resistance scores, like vigor, resolve.
Okay.
That's why there's that line going down.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a 5.
Okay, so he goes, huh. You seem to know a lot. Probably a lot more than you should. Tell you what. So you've succeeded here. So the 3 there. However, there's going to end up being a complication. I'm assuming you're looking for the Foghound's contract.
Look, Foghound's contract.
Don't play dumb.
Sure. Well, I thought sure that said Diamond Dogs.
Well, here's the thing. I can't exactly. I can't exactly go back on the contract I've already put out. However, if you happen to know things they don't, you might be in a position to take it from them. So the complication here is he's not going to be able to just free and clear give it to you, but he's still not quite swayed. So Max.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're towards the back. He's got a thing.
I thought the complication was going to be, you make a good point, but let me check something in back.
Yeah.
Let me go in back where someone else is. So Max, he's got a dock. There's a lot of stuff that kind of comes in and out through the shipping lanes that happen to go by where he's at. There's a number of windows. There's, of course, the way up there. There's also a larger loading dock for things to be moved. You tell me, how do you wish to get in?
Are there people around, or is it like?
There are a couple. There's a couple guards that sort of hang out there. Look fairly bored. This is generally, particularly in the back of it, there's not usually a whole lot they've got to worry about. Once in a while, you'll see like a boat go by, and they'll kind of perk up and sort of look. But beyond that, they're mostly, there's just 2 of them sitting back there playing cards.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to them and ask them if they want to play cards.
Kind of looks up and they look at you. Who the fuck are you? Hey, you shouldn't be back here.
I'm like, excuse me, gentlemen, I don't mean to unsettle you. I was just wondering if you wanted to try your hands with someone for some coin. Maybe, like, do we have any money, or is that like something?
Yeah, you basically like the small, like you have 2 coin total, which is like just like a measure of money. Like 2 is a decent amount, but
Yeah.
we don't really keep track of the small things here and there unless it be a big.
Yeah. So I just pull out a coin. I'm like, 1 man silver is the same as any others. Who cares who I am?
Okay, so you need to convince them that it's okay to sit there and sort of talk or something or play while they're like people aren't supposed to be back here.
Right.
They kind of look. So that sounds like maybe consort or deceive to me. And remember, if you don't have 8 total points, you want to put those other points in.
Yeah.
So far, you guys have been going at least somewhat social, unless you just
Yeah,
want.
exactly. So that's a good thought. All right. Yeah. So I have consort and deceive, but I'm not really deceiving. I'm just consorting. I'm like, hey, let's play some games. So that's 1d6 then.
Yeah. So you're in a risky situation right now. You can stress yourself to get an extra die.
Risky is what level? Is that like orange or?
Well, if you look down here, it basically all it matters is the consequences are a little bit worse. Yeah, you suffer harm.
Okay, yeah. No, so I'll use this 1 stress die or something.
Yeah, so
slash roll d6 times. What are you, right? Or?
Yep, so slash roll 2d6. Well, 3 is your highest, which is not bad. So you sit and play cards with them for like a little bit, or?
So Well, I was just trying to even see if they wanted to play.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I lose.
Yeah, so one of them, so as you've been playing cards, one of them kind of pulls his sword, puts it against your chest, and the guy goes, "No, I recognize this guy. This is one of those diamond dogs, I think. Go tell Jimmy." And well, you probably end up suffering some harm here. You're in a bad position. He smacks you in the head. For at this point, you can either take some harm or go ahead and roll your resistance for vigor to try to not take. So you either take a busted nose.
No, here's what. Yeah, so I'll roll 2 resistance for vigor.
And so the other guy is starting to make is kind of.
So
Oh, you will take 0 stress. Yeah, so with that 6 met, you take no stress at all, so you don't take the harm and no stress from it, as he tries to just like hit you in the head with the pommel of the sword.
I'm just gonna say I duck like swiftly because I'm kind of like an acrobat.
Okay, so you got this guy in front of you. You got the other one who's starting to head up the steps in towards the back, trying to let them know that you're back there.
Mm-hmm.
So you are in a bad way. What do you do?
I'm gonna call out to the guy who's going up to the house or whatever. So I just ducked the guy's like sword blow or whatever, right? I'm just gonna
the other one just keeps going up the steps that are sort of so like if you're sort of out. Let me actually take this freehand. So you kind of got the dock back here. The steps that go up are here. They were on essentially a small crate here. So you is there at the T-ish thing.
Okay.
And the guard that tried to hit you is here. The other one is heading up the steps here.
Right. So I'm just gonna, because I rolled a 6. So.
And that 6 was to basically not take harm.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like for something to happen or anything.
Yeah, no. So in that case, if you'd have rolled say like a 4, for example, you'd have taken 2 stress, but not gotten a broken nose, which could then affect you later.
Okay.
So essentially, because you rolled a 6, you took no stress at all. And if you end up taking 8 stress total, you can gain a trauma, which increases your vice by 1, which can actually help get rid of some stress. But the traumas can end up taking a character out of sort of working eventually.
Well, I guess we're in this shit right now, yeah. So I'm gonna pull my knife, and the guy, he swung at me. I'm gonna pull my knife and try to like put it against his neck.
Okay.
And just shock him like that.
So
let's say that's like a slip. Like I'm gonna like sneakily just kind of like throw it up there and have the knife out against his neck. Some sort of finesse. Like Drob moves with a lot of finesse. He's kind of like a showman. Like
yeah. I think slip kind of works there.
Yeah. So D6. Oh shit.
Oh, that's not good. As you go to put it against his neck, because he missed you with it. You go for the neck. He actually managed to like grab your hand and then with his elbow smashes it into where your shoulder is. You can make a resistance roll, or you're gonna get a strained shoulder.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna make a resistance roll.
And then we're going to go inside, because the other guy is now seeing this battle happen. He may be calling out something very shortly. You're in a bad spot.
We could do flashbacks, right?
Yes.
Can I do a flashback right now?
Let's figure out if he gets hurt first, and then we'll.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So that's vigor again.
Yep. Okay. Since you got a 3, the 3 is your highest. Take 3 stress. It hurts, but it doesn't. He doesn't actually like strain your shoulder the way he almost did. Like it was shocking because a moment ago you felt like Bruce Lee. Now you're like just a chump.
Yeah.
Okay, so we go back inside. Now you want to do a flashback?
Yeah, I want to do a flashback of we're talking. I'm walking around the store, and a flash of action kind of catches my eye out the window, and I see this, and I'm like, I'll be right back. And I walk out the door, the door that the guy is coming up the stairs, he's going to come into the store with. Mm-hmm. I walk out that door, and I meet him on the middle of the steps.
Okay, well, less a flashback, more. We'll just say you got to the right position.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we'll do is let's see if you notice this happening.
Okay.
Which so you basically your flashback is from literally like a turn ago that you happen to be in the right spot to be able to see this happening.
Yeah.
Which looks to me like
We'll say I was
discern.
lurking. What is it?
Discern.
I do not have a single point in discern.
Then you can spend 2 points, 2 stress, and be there, or 2 stress, and then roll a die.
I will spend 2 stress on that.
Okay.
How do you get rid of stress?
Stress you kind of do in between missions. That's what your vice is for.
Okay. All right, I take 2 stress.
Okay, we are in a risky position. So you said you head out the door. Who's got the siren?
Goodness. Not me.
What's up?
That's,
Is that you, Max?
Oh, the sirens? Yeah, sorry. Super loud.
Damn Chicago. Yeah. So this one there's going to be a consequence. So as you head out the door, the guy sees you and sort of stops. He's like, "It's another one of them." And basically, if he gets a chance to call out or something, there's going to be some problems fairly quick. Ron,
yes.
you kind of see Tag go out the door. Jimmy, at this point, is just sort of looking at you, says, "Got a cigarette again?" But you saying you know these things doesn't necessarily mean that you're in, the right position to take care of it. You think you got that?
You leave that to us.
I heard that from a lot of young crews.
A lot of young crews ain't us.
Go ahead, make your roll to. I'm going to do this too. Desperate situation. Yeah, this I forgot to do this. Desperate situations. We had 2 of them go. The complications here. I'm going to move that to. He's at 2 right now. On that. With Jimmy possibly finding out, you may get to a point where you trying to find information from Jimmy is going to be hard with the way things have been going. Yeah. So Ron, go ahead and make your roll.
All right. Question for you.
Mhm.
So, when do I get into taking trauma?
When you mark your 8th and final stress box, you suffer a level of trauma. You may choose to be left. This wouldn't be left for dead in this case, but trauma levels are permanent. They're kind of how worn down your character is. And as I recall, they've got there's 4 total levels of trauma you can end up taking.
Okay. All right. Just asking. All right. Because am I still rolling sway?
So yeah, it sounds like sway is what sort of fits here.
All right. And well, that makes sense. So, because I think I'm gonna go ahead and take 2 more stress if you don't mind.
Okay.
Get to roll an extra die on this. Let's do that. Well, looks like 4 is my roll.
Okay. This back, looks at you a little bit again. Tell you what. I'm a believer, this is the complication I'll give you. I'm a believer in the free market. So, I can give you the information I need about getting this job done. Foghounds will be aware of it. Whoever brings it to me first. And you got a little bit of a head start before I can see them in the morning. I don't know if they're starting yet to grab the stuff for me, but whoever gets it to me first, they're the ones I pay.
It's a deal.
Goes this, shakes your hand. So you guys managed to get Jimmy's confidence here. Now you have to make sure he doesn't find out that you were trying to maybe sneak in through the back.
And
Maybe he'll stop it. I wasn't sneaking. I was just gambling. Unreasonable.
But you also did pull you might have been able to talk it out before you pulled the knife out.
Yeah, they shouldn't have swung at me.
Okay, so we are now in the back with you guys and those two guards. What do you do?
So my shoulder just got sprained. So I'm just
Okay.
gonna be like, ah, stop! I'm just gonna beg them to stop hurting me and be like, yo, like, you guys got this whole thing wrong. You know what I mean?
We're by a dock, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. I don't really beg. I'm gonna pick this guy up and throw him over the dock.
No, please throw.
No, great, yeah.
Okay, make a roll as this happens.
Let's see here. Skirmish. Oh, mayhem. I think this is a mayhem roll.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's two dice. Do I get any more from anything?
You know what? I'm gonna throw out a suggestion that as I scream out for help, it's just so ridiculous that the guard is distracted, so that it makes this throw more likely. Because he's just like, what?
If you want to take 2 stress, and then he gets a bonus.
Okay. Is that an additional 1d6?
Yeah, but actually 1d6, and I don't know if you had like an item or something you had.
I have a fine large weapon, a pistol and shot, and heavy armor.
Okay, it looks like you're grabbing him and throwing him, so those things aren't necessarily going to come into it.
Right.
Okay.
So let's see here. Oh, it's not working. Let's see here. Roll. Oops. Slash. Roll. 3d6.
Mhm.
You may have one for his. Ha!
3.
Wow.
Man.
Okay. So we are definitely at the risky situation. Actually, did you roll one of you roll a 1 last time, or like a 3 or 4?
I did not.
Yeah, check it. You got a 4 last time.
4, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Actually, that moved up to from risky to desperate. That's part of the.
Okay.
Okay, so you have the desperate situation here. All right, so you got a 3 is your total.
Mhm.
It's the worst outcome. You suffer harm, a severe complication occurs, and you lose the opportunity for action. I'm going to raise that bar the clock one more as far as Jimmy finding out. As you go to grab him, he knees you in the balls.
Ow.
You know,
I need those balls.
If you can either take a bruised balls. So they said that cord that goes between the balls and like right here on your neck.
Yeah.
Now kind of has you a little bit hunched over for a while until you have some time to heal, or you can make a vigor roll to try to take stress instead.
I'll do a vigor roll. And also, does my armor do anything? I'm wearing.
You can actually tick off the armor instead. Let me just double check that. Yeah, because I think with armor lets you, instead of taking harm, you can just tick off the armor as opposed to previous.
Okay,
This reminds me how much I love physical books as opposed to PDFs when it comes to looking shit up. Yep. Avoid the consequences if you take. You avoid the consequences if you take 6 stress minus whatever your highest die roll. If you have a type of armor that applies to the situation, you can mark off 1 box to avoid a consequence. Yeah, basically you can mark off this box to take a consequence.
Okay.
To not take the consequence.
All right, I'm wearing a cod piece. I'm wearing heavy armor. So, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so you're in a bad situation now as you try to. You don't get wounded, but you have lost this opportunity for the action. Max, as you cry out, you see this go poorly. What do you do?
So the guy just fucking hold my shoulder. I'm just gonna try to like throw the guard that's in front of me into the water.
Okay.
We're right on the dock. So handles what? Like vehicles or something? I mean,
Yeah, mayhem is probably.
I don't have a
best.
mayhem though.
Murder.
No, I have like
Um,
mostly slip and like prowl handle. I don't know if those really fight. Well, I could use a spell too, I guess. I don't know. Am I able to do that? I have a ritual special ability, but that would take time, right?
yeah, rituals take time.
Prowl,
Yeah.
kind of like a wrestling grip, kind of like.
The prowl is more about being unseen and overcoming physical obstacles, climbing, swimming, running. You're more looking at something along the lines of mayhem, possibly murder. Yeah, I think you're looking at more of the physical stuff here, which I don't think is your. Is that not your?
No, not really. Okay.
So you can take 2 stress to have 1 dice.
Well, then I get a trauma.
And I was gonna say, if you want to take a devil's bargain here, if you want to get an extra dice, if you want to get 1 die for a devil's bargain, we'll say if he goes in the drink, his ghost will, or rather, you will gain the attention of a ghost that won't necessarily do something right now, but it will be a problem later.
Okay. Yeah. Devil's bargain. That's what that's
Okay,
right?
so you get 1 die for the devil's bargain,
Jesus.
and you said you can't take stress because you'll get trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could get trauma if you wanted, but yeah. So, so 4.
So you lose this opportunity for action.
No, well, yeah, we're the desperate. You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer severe harm, a serious complication. You lose the opportunity for. We'll say as you send him over, and this is when you can make a roll. You can make a vigor roll to maybe a stress could be a thing there. You can either take, in this case, it would be severe harm, which is, and this is one where because you guys got the wrong one. Yeah, so the severe harm in here will be problematic, would actually put it up in the top one, which means you would sort of need help. He is going to, as you go, the sword that he's got could cut you enough that you are going to be, like, to do much of anything, you're going to need some help.
Okay. So
Or you can make a vigor roll to try to see if you
yeah,
take stress.
definitely gonna make a bigger roll.
Okay. God damn, 6, so you take nothing.
Okay.
He goes over, and we'll say, I'm not going to add a complication here as far as Jimmy finding out. At this point, yeah, he goes over and into the water, and you see him sort of hit his head as he goes. You sort of feel a chill sort of pour through you as there's something across the river that's sort of floating there in the air, like staring at you. You can kind of feel it locking into you. Chad.
Yeah.
You are in a desperate, like, if this guy gets any opportunity, you guys are found out.
Okay. So let's see here. I think I'm just gonna murder this guy. I've had enough glasses getting smashed in my face and barroom brawls. I think it's time somebody dies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take. I can take how many stresses?
Oh, to give you another die?
Yeah.
2 stress for a d6.
All right, I'll take 2 stress. And so that's going to be 3d6. Oh, no, I have 2 and murder, so that's going to be 4d6.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. Are you kidding? Wow.
Wow.
Oh, 5 though,
okay.
Grief.
Okay. So in this case, being under desperate circumstances, yeah, and then in this case, so as you murder him, what are you using to kill him?
I have a fine large weapon.
Mhm.
I am going to say that it is it's a hammer.
Mhm.
It's like this very nice noble person's hammer, like
Mhm.
Warhammer. It's like this big. It's not like one of these huge like 2-ended things. I mean, it's really big and it's like in my sort of leather trench coat. And he knees me in the balls and I go down, but he hit my codpiece and then I come up like this and I just hit him on the chin with this hammer. Try and take his head off.
Okay.
Try.
So yeah, so basically, as you knock him over, and you can actually are able to sort of like wrench him into thing. But as you do so, there's a dagger that comes up and is heading straight for a chink in the armor that you wear.
Uh-huh.
And that could actually give you a punctured lung. So you can make a vigor roll to try to, because you've already used your armor, right? Or do you have heavy armor or regular?
I have
armor?
heavy armor.
Oh, so if you want, you could tick off
Yeah.
your second thing of armor, or you can make a vigor roll and take some stress to avoid the consequence.
I will take a off my heavy armor.
All right. So yeah, basically, and so like as he goes over, you see that it's deep enough that it's scratched just a tiny little bit into your.
We'll say I have like a big leather trench coat, and then I have like a shirt over that, but underneath I'm wearing sort of a chainmail leather sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, it came close to sort of penetrating as he goes over and disappears into the water after the other one with his head pretty well smashed.
Okay.
Jimmy's gonna love this.
There's only two. There were two of them, or were there three?
Two of them.
Two of them. Thank God.
Did the one I threw in the water, did he die and that's his ghost? Can I make an attune check to see what I know about this ghost that I just saw?
It'll take a little bit. This is a different ghost that's noticed you.
Okay.
All right, I go down to Max. Are you okay?
Yeah. Like my shoulder hurts a little bit, but how'd the meeting go?
Great. A little bit better than out here. They have a card game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any money on the card game?
Yeah, a little bit of money.
I pick it up,
that.
hand half of it to you, put the other half in my pocket.
Do you want to go check out the warehouse?
I say yes. Hold on. I take the cards. If they have like bottles of beer or whatever, anything that looked like they were here, I toss it all in the water.
Yeah. I will say, if you try to go in the warehouse now, if you guys screw up even once, he is 3 out of 4 to finding out.
Yeah, we caused a lot of destruction over here. Let's cut our losses. I'm not bleeding or anything, right?
No.
My armor's a little ripped up. I take off my trench coat and I hand it to you, and I'm like pulling my chainmail armor off, and I'm like, here, give me my trench coat back, and then I button it all up, and I go back inside. I kind of put my coat on because all my clothes are torn up from.
I just tweeted the creator of this game, like the designer, telling him that this was like a paranoia briefing. like 2 of them almost died just trying to figure out like what the mission was. Okay, so Ron, inside, it's like he kind of gives the information. It's like what they're looking for. You had it a little bit off, but very close. Captain Kristoff is wanting to steal from the ward boss from Finn in the White Crown precinct. Give him some information about where he is hidden. Actually, rather in his house. He's hidden in his house, in his desk. There's a locked door. There's a locked drawer that's part of his desk, and in that drawer is actually a series of locations for the various little safe drops they have to keep some of the things. Some evidence, some money.
Drawer?
What?
In Kristoff's drawer?
No, in Finn's.
Okay.
Finn's drawer.
So Kristoff is wanting that information to be stolen, and then a couple of the basically a couple of the things to be the safe drops to be robbed, which will take some money away from White Crown, which will get Finn fired, which will allow Kristoff to step into position.
And Jimmy wants that too.
Well, Jimmy is able to, because Jimmy's going to be able to fence the things that are stolen.
Mm-hmm.
So, like he's obviously also getting paid for helping Kristoff.
Okay, interesting.
So you've got at least some times before he lets the Diamond Dogs know, or the Foghounds know.
All right. Well, so in order for us to get to the safe and steal from it, we have to have we have to know the location pretty well. Got a case of joint, and I do believe that is something that is right up my alley.
Okay. So, is there anything you guys want to do before? I mean, part of it will be you can do some of it with like flashbacks and such as well.
Can we do some vices and lower our stress?
Well, that's sort of downtime, and you guys don't necessarily have time for downtime. Do you
Well,
want to go to night, or do you want to see if do you want us to risk them getting to it either tonight, knowing that they've also run into several of them have been sort of at least scared, so they might go tonight?
One of them is falling down drunk, and they might think something's up. In fact, Jimmy Fingers might even let him know just to teach us a lesson because he's ornery. Who knows? I say we seize the opportunity.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So what are we doing? So we got to go to his drawer somewhere in his house and find the combination and the locations of other saves.
Right. In order for us to forget that, we need to find the best way in. So,
or you know what we could do too? Well, this might hurt us in the long run. One of the things we could do is that Jimmy was essentially hired by this guy's subordinate. We could find the subordinate and beat the information out of him.
Yeah, that works.
I mean, we don't have to tell him we're Diamond Dogs. We can,
we can say we're Foghound Resistance.
We can say we're the Foghounds. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yo, I gotta meet someone on the corner real quick and buy like a backpack from Craigslist. It'll be like 5 minutes, but
a backpack. Yeah, off Craigslist.
Totally.
I know it sounds so sketchy, but I'll show it to you if I buy it.
Yeah, I don't know what's in the backpack. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to be a party to the.
Well, okay, but I like the idea of beating that guy up.
Okay, let me use the bathroom real quick, and then we'll continue.
Hey! This is probably a good time for me to break.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate, but I have to get up for work tomorrow.
No problem, man.
Hey, man, I gotta be up in August.
There are benefits of being a teacher.
Yeah, there are.
So, hate to bail, but thanks for letting me play.
No, thanks for joining us.
I got a chance to, and so maybe I'll see you guys around again.
Have a good one.
Talk to you later, man.
Night. Hey, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick and
okay.
Back in a few. What up?
Hey, he's still getting his backpack.
That's so sketchy.
Hey, they make deliveries now. That's pretty cool.
Nice. No, it's kind of this is interesting because I think it feels like it's designed for 4 to 5 to help cover people's abilities.
Yeah.
It seems like if it was like a 3-person game, I'd probably do a thing where give a couple advancements or a few more skills just to help fill out a bit more.
Right.
So one of the things where the nice thing is, since you play a gang which can actually grow fairly large,
Mhm.
if you have people come and go, it just means that person's not that character's not
Part of the
available for that.
heist. Yeah, I like the territory, the claims,
Mhm.
how you grow up from the lair, you build it and stuff. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see the full thing there. But one of the neat things it looks like, because you actually it wants the players to be very proactive in,
Uh-huh.
oh, we're going to take down these people, and like they make the plans to do these things, and because it's easy enough to kind of come up with
Yeah.
some of these things, it's able to react very quickly, and so the players get to determine how their gang is growing, who their enemies are,
Mhm.
and then kind of get pulled into some things that might be deeper and bigger.
Yeah. Now I don't understand the clocks. How do clocks work?
So the clocks are, and it's an Apocalypse World thing that works really. It's used in Apocalypse World. Essentially, it's hit points, but also for like danger is building or mounting. One of the things is like with Jimmy finding out. There's a couple times I kind of could have, but I was also like, this is essentially the briefing.
Yeah.
Of course, like in a paranoia game, it's fine if everyone dies once or twice by the end of the briefing. But here, I'm like, we want to get you with the other stuff too. So it basically means like with Jimmy finding out, which was the sort of passive one.
Mhm.
When you guys did something that would give a series like a complication, I would add to Jimmy finding out.
Yeah.
So basically, he hears the noise, someone cries out. It puts stress, like a like Jenga tower type stress with someone going, oh, if we screw up like this, once these 4 have ticked down, this person's
Yeah.
going to hear. So as opposed to it just being a random, oh, he hears, now you know that here are the stakes, here's what's going on.
So the clock builds. Like it could start out as 4, and then it goes to 6, and then it goes to this 12, or
Well,
the counting
what it is if I was doing this like on a, here, I'll kind of show you. If we were playing like at my house or something and we had something, what I would do is I would draw it on like the whiteboard, and then I would literally sort of fill in, which is a little harder to hear, so I just made it a bar
Yeah.
ahead with as much, because here, like actually filling it in would look kind of ugly and clumsy. I'm just basically filling in the bar ahead. So otherwise, I would just be filling it in as it gets towards towards being completely done. So it's saying Jimmy finding out is fairly simple. The Foghound resistance is going to be a little harder to go over. Finn's home guards. So you basically,
I see. So when you are successful in what you're doing, you fill in a slice.
yeah, with the exception of like Jimmy finds out was simply it was a countdown as opposed to a count up.
Right.
So defeating Finn's home guards would be like almost taking away hit points, but you don't have to be hitting them to do it. You could distract them, sneak, like if you snuck by them,
Yeah.
you would take out like maybe 2 or 3 depending. Like you're essentially overcoming that obstacle.
Right.
Jimmy's is one that counts down, and if it gets to 0, he eventually finds out. There can also be like a tug of war clock where, like say Finn's home guards are running after you and you're trying to get away. Your successes will count it down. Your successes will count down towards 0, where theirs raise it up towards them catching you.
Yeah.
So it makes for any situation. It's almost like hit points for any situation.
Yeah. That would be really cool to have a whiteboard for the group. So you have these different clocks going, and they can see what the different situations are.
Oh, that's actually in Apocalypse World and in this when it's the full thing. Like you'll have a thing where like you actually would have clocks that are set up for long term. You have clocks that are set up for long term, so it would be like Foghounds. You have certain clocks you're counting down to get rid of some of their hold.
Yeah.
And to take them down, and someone there might be one that has like a long-term project that over several games, oh, we know that this particular gang is getting towards doing this thing that they want to do, and you might do something that either takes away or adds to that clock, or you might just see it in between. If you don't do anything that would change it, it just counts up between sessions, so you can kind of see what's happening in the city and decide, oh, this is what I want to affect, this is what I want to affect. Have you read Apocalypse World?
I have not. I had Dungeon World, and I didn't care for it. I don't know if you've ever read Dungeon World. It is very poorly written. I mean, the thing is like it's like this thick for something that you could basically explain in 10 pages. And it's just so, I mean, the sentence structure and the grammar is bad in it.
Huh.
It is really poorly written, and it doesn't have anything with the clocks. It's a hack of Apocalypse World, but there's none of this clock thing. And essentially, all it is the rolling. You try to get as many dice as you can convince the GM to give you, and then you're trying to get a 6. And anything below a 6, you're fucked. And that was kind of how I read it. Maybe that wasn't really quite how it was supposed to go, but it was just different levels of getting screwed all the time.
Huh.
We didn't like it. I mean, but I ran it for a group, and we're like, it's like failing. It's constant failure.
Well, it's one of those things that I own it, but I haven't actually. I own the PDF, but I haven't actually read it because it's one of those I picked up. Like, oh, I'll read this. I started. I got busy. Just Apocalypse World. I fucking love Apocalypse World. And one thing in Apocalypse World, there's a desperation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of like this. Like you guys were very close on the brink of, like these things to screw up. You will you'll do some stuff to them. But if you don't get high enough, like there's consequences because they're not rolling against you the way it does in like a regular game where it's just like you attack, they do their thing. But in like Apocalypse World, the desperation makes a lot of sense because it's just part of the nature. But you also, because in there it's not just like this one's just a D6. In there, you actually roll 2d6. It's 2 to 6 is a complete miss. 7 to 10 or 7 to 9 is a partial, and 10 to 12 is full. And because you're often rolling on something you might have a +2 on, it's actually pretty easy to get a partial or a complete success. The danger's always there.
Yeah.
I think you would love reading or playing an Apocalypse World because I think it's right up your alley. It's all player facing, so the GM doesn't have to like ever roll anything.
Yeah.
It's got like some really interesting things where it's like when you're playing, if they get like a partial or a failure, you make one of these moves, and those moves can be like announce future badness, do them damage. Or I can't remember what all of them were, but essentially it's like here are the narrative things because it's like this should all come out of the story,
Right.
and all the player stuff is basically put into like 7 or 8 moves that pretty much everything fits into.
Yeah.
As I've looked a little bit through Dungeon World. That and Torchbearer are ones I want to sit down and read, but I just haven't gotten around to them. But Apocalypse World, I found this incredibly cool thing that I think Dungeon World was a little more palatable for people.
Yeah.
Because that a lot of people seem to sort of that seemed to catch on more than Apocalypse World itself, maybe. But Apocalypse World is, I mean, there's a ton of hacks have come out of it.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I wonder if I just didn't get Dungeon World because Apocalypse World sounds really cool. Dungeon World just was not. It was you failed all the time, and occasionally you got a 6, and you did something once, and that was it.
Well, I know that unlike like Apocalypse World doesn't have this, but Dungeon World actually has like someone wrote a guide basically like here's the best way to play a Dungeon World. So I don't know if it's one that like Apocalypse World. I read it. I'm like I know exactly how this works.
Right.
I ran a fairly long campaign with it that was we decided our Apocalypse was a water world. And our hard holder, Max, this was Malia actually, basically ran a aircraft carrier that was traveling, and it essentially turned into Battlestar Galactica on the sea, because we had our Hocus, which is our priest, essentially at odds with the captain, and we had all these other. It was actually it went incredibly well, except for the times I tried to force it outside of the ship. Every time we were just on the ship, things went incredibly and just really cool. It was only when we was trying to forcing it to get into the outside world when it was our particular game was basically saying no, fuck the rest of the world. We just want to know about this aircraft carrier and the people on it. Yeah, you would love it.
Was it Dogs where you play with like the face cards, or is that Leverage where we were playing with like poker basically?
Oh, I mean dogs. You roll your dice and then you put them forward like poker hands.
Oh, okay, that's it. Well, both of those games, I really like the way it worked. In Leverage, I seem to remember we had like cards or something, like playing cards.
Oh no, that wasn't leverage. That was we started with Project Dark,
Oh, that was
which is
Project Dark.
yep. Unlike like this particular game and Project Dark are similar, except this focuses. Project Dark was more on like going into individual locations and stealing stuff.
Right.
You guys were more into the heist aspect, which is why
Right.
we switched to leverage. The cards was part of Project Dark. Leverage is
okay.
Cortex Plus. Those were dice pools.
I don't think I ever played Leverage then.
No, you did. We switched over after like 1 or 2 sessions. I think after maybe the first maybe the second session when you guys got the woman out of when you got the enemy, the lieutenant, when you stole her as well as the person you were going to rescue.
I don't remember.
It was clear you guys were more less interested in the sneaking and stealing, but more interested in the heist. That's when we switched over to leverage. Like the hitter,
okay.
hacker, thief.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did both. Like that game started off as one and then turned into the other.
Did Ron head out?
The what?
Did Ron leave?
Yeah, he had to take off because he had to be up tomorrow.
Or, you want to keep going, Chad? Or
Yeah, I'm fine.
okay.
Okay.
Can we like rest at all? I guess that's the real thing because we're both kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, your thing now is if you rest, the chances are like we can do a downtime thing, but you're also looking at they're going to have an opportunity to get in there, and they will also absolutely be there as opposed to that being a possibility.
Yeah.
Well, you said they were super drunk, so they're probably not going tonight. They go tomorrow, and we're rested. We could try to fuck with them and try to
Yeah.
steal.
That's true. And I have like 2 stress, and my armor's gone. So yeah,
It's not the time to like start a confrontation. Like,
no. I'd
so
rather.
yeah, we should definitely rest.
Yep. And then and like you said, we can go in there and we can try and screw with them because we just don't want to, get with the fence. We want to make them look like idiots.
Right.
Okay, so with what we do is basically do like this is like the downtime that happens in between sessions. Then a session we kind of do one of those and show you how that works. So you get to do 2 of the follow. If you want to look on page, it's 15 out of 35. It says page 18 at the bottom. Do I have a thing on? Did I put that up on the Roll20?
Payoff.
Is there a thing on payoff?
Yeah.
Or did I put it?
I
could
see
put
it.
there.
I don't know if it's on Roll20, but it's on Google Drive.
Yeah, it's definitely on there. I think during the. Nope. Nope, that is this. Yeah, if you want to look at the one on Google Drive on page, it's 18. It's the 15th page on there, but it says page 18 on the bottom.
Yeah, I see it.
So yeah, what you're able to do is take 2 of those actions: recover from harm and restore your armor. Indulge your vice to clear stress, work on a long-term project, reduce heat on the crew, which you don't have as of yet, acquire an asset, use of an asset, gather information on the subject of your choosing. So it sounds like you definitely want to indulge your vice to clear stress.
Yeah.
Okay, so you definitely each want to do that, and I'm guessing Chad probably wants to reset his armor.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't have any harm, but you can go ahead and get your armor. So what will happen here is with the... Okay, so we're not doing that part with it. We're not doing the entanglements quite yet. That would happen sort of after, but with the vice itself, so you can either clear 1 stress plus what your vice rating is. You can clear +4 stress if you overindulge. And if you overindulge, where is with... Quick. Now, overindulging can actually get you possibility of getting a new score later. So you could do 4. You each have 1, so you'd be 1, 2 stress, 6 if you overindulge. With the actual.
Yeah, I'll need to do...
yeah, that's where you go. Yeah, so the overindulging either takes you're broke, tapped, bad decisions, or you lost. that go
I'll
along?
I'll have to overindulge because I have 6 stress right now.
Okay.
And
Okay, so in there, if you look at the downtime on page, if you just hit the thing to page 21, it's on or player reference 1 will actually have it. 2 downtime actions.
Downtime.
For any downtime roll, add +1d to the rolls. Yeah, I think you just take one of those if you overindulge. Yeah, you can either lose access to all but one of your personal items until you have your next downtime because you pawn stuff off. Tapped, your current purveyor cuts you off and you need to find a new source of the vice. Bad decisions, you make a bad call because of your vice in acquiring it or while under its influence. Roll an additional entanglement for the crew. Or lost, you lose yourself in vice. Play a different character until this one returns.
so we gotta pick one of those.
I'll do
If you overindulge.
I'm overindulging. I'll do a bad decision.
All right, so in that case, what we'll go ahead and do, and this may actually, we can probably work this into here, this first one. Go ahead and roll a 1d6. You'll have an entanglement. How much stress do you have, Max?
6.
Okay, yeah, so if you get rid of all of them, you can overindulge as well. What did you roll, Chad?
A 1.
Oh, no. Oh, that's gang trouble.
Yeah.
What if your gang causes trouble due to their drawback? Lose face. You lose -1 rep per tier. Make an example of the gang members or face reprisals for the wronged party. If you lack a gang with a drawback, there's no entanglement. I'm actually going to, in this case, I'll go ahead and put that on the Foghounds getting a bonus there. Max, did you want to overindulge?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Am I rolling for bad decision too, or it doesn't matter?
Oh, do you want to make a bad decision, or do you want something else?
I was thinking
Go.
tapped. I just get kicked off by my purveyor.
Okay, yes, you have to make a note that the purveyor you have is no longer able to get you. Okay, so we, at this point then, because of what's happened, the Foghounds are going to have possibly a bit of a head up on you, so you actually have to get there before they do. So that will be the bad part of the downtime. Chad, you got your armor. I'm assuming that and your stress. Max, you have another downtime action.
Did I lose my stress because I overindulged or whatever?
Yeah, so that would be a total of 6 stress. So 1 plus 1 for your vice. It only starts off at 1. When you get trauma, your vice goes up. So as you get trauma, it's actually easier to get rid of your vice in between sessions. And actually, fuck it. Let's do this because there's only 2 of you. We can go ahead and... Is there anything that would advance your characters?
What do you mean by that?
So, Chad, you're a cutter?
Yep.
Well, you did address a challenge with violence or threats.
A couple of times.
You went into danger for your crew to show your dominance. And actually, you get to add with those. I think those should be on your sheet. So what you're able to do is the playbook advancements. Advancements right here. Okay, so yeah, what we can do here is ask the other players which attribute your character is best so far embodied during the previous session. Guile, Insight, Resolve, or Vigor. So far, what would you say, Max, what would you say that he has done the best in?
Vigor.
Vigor? So what you want to do is, right next to Vigor, there's 4 little ticks. You want to tick off one of those.
Okay.
What would you say for Max?
I would say he has done Guile.
Okay.
Is that like finesse? I don't have guile.
Oh.
It would be the larger categories. So that'd be.
I know it. I don't have it. I have finesse, insight, resolve, and vigor.
They probably finesse.
Yeah, finesse.
So finesse.
Okay.
Then choose one advancement type which your character devotes to personal training time. Mark one advancement tick in that category if your crew has a training upgrade, which you don't have. So then add 1 to any of those 4 that you've been working on.
Okay.
Now, review your playbook. The playbook advancement items. If you have... if you've done the same item multiple times, you get to take 2 ticks for it.
I would say yes on mine. Dress challenge. There's the bar scene, and then there's the coming down the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, so basically you can get a maximum 2 for each of, uh, 2 ticks for each of those maximum.
Okay.
In playbook advancement.
Yeah, those go into playbooks advancement. So you got what, Chad? You got how many have you added?
I've done 2 address challenge with violence and threats because there was the bar and then the stairs.
Okay.
And then I went into danger for my crew. So 1 more, I guess. Or can I only do a max of 2?
Well, no, you can do basically like each for each one. Oh God, this is. I've got the thing. I'll take a snapshot. I need to take it off of that, so it keeps clicking. Do this. So yeah, basically for each of those items that work, you get one per time you've used it. You get 2 if you've used it more than once, and that's for each of those playbook advancement items.
And then what do you do with those once you cross?
Those get the ticks that are right up above it. The 1, 2, 3. 4.
Yeah. What
Yeah, so-
does that do?
What those can do is those can actually give you a playbook advance, which those are the ones under. Yes, when you get the playbook advance up, what you're then able to do is you can choose a new special ability, add +1 to an effect rating, or add 2 items from another playbook to your list of options. So if those go up, you're actually. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll also do this. Desperate rolls. You each made a couple desperate rolls. I would say, what, 1, 2, or I think 2 each, because those went up to desperate.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so with desperate rolls, what you get to do with those can actually supplement other advancement ticks. If you have 1 tick in vigor and 3 ticks in desperate moves, is one that we forgot to do earlier. You combine those ticks to raise something. So I think you each had at least 2 desperate rolls.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll say 2 on there, so you can actually add those 2 to something if it would help take something up, or you can just kind of keep them listed
So
under the desperate.
2 dots or 2 ticks
2 ticks.
to one of our attributes, like finesse, insight, resolve, or vigor.
Yep.
And what happens when you get 4 ticks in that?
You then get to raise something in it.
Oh, okay. We have to get the 4 first. Okay.
Yeah. So it basically, do you have something with 2 in it so far?
Yeah.
I have 1 and 1. So.
Oh, so just yeah. So that's one where you can just make a note that you've got 2 desperate rolls, and then what you would be able to do is then add that to something else. Because if you've got something that's only 2 away, you can spend that in to help raise it up. Because yeah, or if you want, this is a one shot. If you want to go ahead and put the personal training into the same one as you got raised up, then spend those 2. You can each add another skill or another skill point.
I'm pretty confused, but I'm down to keep just playing because I have no idea.
Or I will say, so Max, what did you get for your? He said guile, right?
Yeah.
Finesse.
Yeah,
Finesse,
it's the difference between the thing. So finesse. So you got 1 point there. Let's say you put your 1 point in personal training also into finesse. Then you spend your 2 desperate rolls in finesse as well. Then you get to add 1 dot on one of the things under finesse.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Yeah. So basically, and if I think it was vigor for you, Chad.
Yep.
If you did that as well, you could basically then take those desperate rolls, those 2 things, and then raise something on vigor.
Okay.
So you add another skill point there.
All right. I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll put 1 in prowl or mayhem.
Okay.
And then reset the ticks.
Yeah, so I think with the exception of the playbook advancements, that should then reset all of your other ticks. So it's just the playbook advancements that remain.
And what do you do with the playbook advancements?
Once those get up, you can either
A new special ability, or
you can get a new special ability. You can also do a few other things. Special ability +1 to an effect rating, like +1 to one of your skills, or you can add 2 items from another playbook to your list of things you can get. So those are essentially, you can use them for skills, but those are probably a little bit more for special abilities. Okay, which puts us with you 2. You now have someone to steal from.
All right.
Okay, get rid of that.
So should we wait for the Foghounds to go in first, and then, or should we be waiting for them?
Let's.
I think it would be better to let them steal it and then get them when they're coming out.
Yeah.
Maybe less exciting, but like we're 2 people now.
Yeah. How many of them are there?
Well, they're a slightly larger gang, so they have got about 10 people total. And this is one where they pretty much brought just about everybody out for. So are you guys kind of like scope out the area?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So what we can do now is one of the other things you can do if you see on the character sheet, there's a thing about being on point. So one person can lead a group action. They can also, and the group action, what can happen is, like say one of you is on point, both people can end up rolling. I mean, there's only 2 of you. Basically, everyone's able to roll, and you get to use the highest of the whatever the actual highest one is. However, the leader can take stress for any. If anyone has a 1 through 3 as their highest result, they take 1 stress for each PC that has that, but the team counts the single best result as the full.
Okay.
So if you're prowling.
So it also says planning. We choose a plan.
Oh, true. Yes.
Then provide the detail.
Mhm.
You have occult rituals, right?
Yeah. And also, what's up with that ghost? Like you mentioned, there's a ghost that I saw earlier.
Oh,
Like,
he
what is
noticed you. It is. You saw that it noticed you. However, it has not shown up as of yet. That will happen in a more interesting time.
Oh, but I can't like communicate with it. In any
you
way,
might be able to try to find it, but you have to find out more about it. It's noticed you. You would need to have more information on the ghost before, and like so maybe physical contact with it. And if you don't get more information before, you can actually do a whole lot about it.
Okay. Okay. But also,
after you've encountered it directly, you'll be able to do more.
But how do I like? It'll just show up. I don't need to worry about that. Like.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, as far as rituals go, I guess like if there's some sort of curse I could lay.
Yeah. Like what can he do with his rituals?
Quite a bit. What kind of curse are you thinking?
The fucking up robbery curse.
Well,
like some sort of haunting, maybe to like freak them out in the house, like some sort of illusion that.
Do you want to like turn the house into like a ghost trap?
Yeah.
Or something where basically like to summon like spirits that show up while they're in there.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering about the.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like a haunted
Especially
house.
like poltergeist ones that are constantly messing with them. That they're stealing their lock picks and they're tying their shoes together.
Making them pull their faces off in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, since these ghosts are more like actually stalking around, walking, they're more like kill you, take your soul, try to possess your body.
Well, that works too.
Well, that's certainly so. Do you basically want to draw the ghosts in so while they're being like maybe murdered by the ghosts, you're able to go in and get the stuff?
Yeah, I mean, will these ghosts like? Is there any? They will try to murder us too, right?
They could. You could do a ritual where you have essentially given yourself, because they're being summoned in by.
I have the spirit anchor, so like maybe that anchors them to me. Like
I will say you can buy because like your gang has 2 coin right now. 2 coin is a pretty decent amount of money. If you spend those there's some equipment and such you can buy that if you have those, you will then be able to. If you have those, you will then essentially be able to have yourself. You should be protected from the ghosts. However, it's one of those things that there will be a clock. As things go poorly, the thing that actually protects you from the ghosts might break down. It's sort of like the woman and the spider thing in Krull, where it's like she's got the thing.
I haven't
where
seen it.
if things go poorly, the ghosts you could become open to attack, but you will at least have an opportunity. You'll have a window of time where you can try to get in. And the ghosts will ignore you forever.
That's definitely worth it, I think, given our position. So, do we have to go get that first?
I would say you basically spend the 2 coin that your gang has, which is just you guys right now, and then what you want to do is go ahead and make a roll for that. Or actually, let me check. What does it actually say for?
Cost stress based on the magnitude of the results. 2 through
Okay.
6.
Yeah, so the magnitude of the result.
Answer GM's questions to create the ritual, page 36.
Well, I don't have that, so it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, cost stress based on the magnitude of the result. Oh, yeah. So basically, what you want to make a roll. I'm guessing this is going to be kind of the same way that the same way you do a resistance roll. I'm going to guess. Go ahead and roll your
It could be like a tune
Cipher?
or something.
or attune. Yeah, go ahead and roll your attune.
It's just 1d6 though. Alright.
You can accept the devil's bargain again if you like. You could also, if Chad's willing to take some stress, he could help you out while you're doing it.
I mean, I don't have a problem taking stress to help him out, but I will say I did say that my character has 0 occult ability. In fact, he's even averse to it.
Yeah, well, to a degree, there's things he could have you. If you're just there, he knows enough to tell you to do these things. The stress there could kind of be like you,
oh
like,
shit, this is going on.
Yes, like it
freaking
creeps you the
me
fuck out.
Yeah, okay.
You could help me, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or
I can
like-
even take some stress too, and we could make sure that something good happens.
Yeah. Or like imps come out and attack you, and it's my job to smash them into imp pancakes with my hammer. But it's just freaking me out.
It's just part of the ritual, man.
Yeah, I'm like flipping out, and you're just like, what? This
is how it is.
This
is
is just what
Thursday night.
happens.
I'll take 2 stress as well, so we have like a lot going towards this.
Okay.
Because I'm really into it. I really I fucked up earlier. I really want to
Mhm.
show my shit work.
Right.
So I got a 6.
Okay.
There we go.
So you'll take 2 stress for the 2 that you spent, plus it did mention at least 2 stress on there, because I don't know what the rest of it is offhand, and I'm not going to... We'll say a total of 2 more stress, so total 4.
Okay. Yeah, the magnitude of the ritual.
The what?
Oh, no, I was just looking at the... like, it costs stress based on the magnitude of the results, so I don't know if, I have to take 6.
Well, my guess is since you rolled the 6, I'm going to go ahead, and this is one that when the full thing is out, it might be different. I'm going to say you essentially kind of made your save. By the way, you've rolled 6s every time. I think for stress, I'm going to say that makes you take the least amount of stress.
Okay, yeah.
If something's different in the full, then cool, but we're not dealing with the full.
Oh, okay, yeah. 'Cause otherwise, I'd be back up at 5 stress already.
Yeah. So yeah, basically you have 4 stress, so you're in a bad place, but trauma could be still fun and interesting at this point. So yeah, so you cast it, you take the stress, and as you're looking at, there's a map you've got of Duskwall, and you know where the house is, and you can feel the power building up in that area, and because of this, they're going to be the Foghounds are going to be kind of well into their mission, but as this is happening, they're going to be set upon by a number of ghosts from the area, and you have a small totem that you've created that will help you stay away from them until its power fails. So while you are there, you have there'll be a lot of chaos going on between probably the guards, the Foghounds, and the ghosts that you've summoned, but it will also allow you to get through, hopefully without being necessarily noticed, apart from the other Foghounds or the other stuff going on.
Yeah. And you can slip in and take care of business, and if anyone makes it through our net and happens to see us, I can smash them.
Okay. Sounds dope. So let's so the ritual started, so we just book it over to the house then, yeah?
Yeah.
And we have to steal the codes which are in the drawer. Is there and from the safe that's here?
If you get information from there, what allow you to do is it's other safes and such that are put throughout the city, like safe houses and such.
Oh, so we just need the information from here, though.
The information, and then you'll be able to sort of take some things from a number of the secured locations. Once those secured locations have been taken, Finn is going to... It's going to be very clear that Finn has failed in his duties.
Shit. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's go to the house.
All right. We do it. We load up in our rowboat.
Yeah.
Rowing. Working
All
on
right.
quads.
Yep. So you guys head over. It's not terribly far from a place where you can dock. The screams are. The screams, you kind of hear them as you guys are approaching. You see a number of the. You see a number of spirits that are making their way into. Let me get rid of that. That are making their way towards the house. The house itself is fairly large. This is someone with a lot of money. There's some guards on the property. There is a fairly large fenced-in backyard that has got, you see a number of trees and some hedges, keeping it from being seen from all of the the plebes that are out in the rest of it. You hear some cries and such coming in, and you see some guards running from the back towards the front as they're being invaded. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take one of these. As things go wrong, basically as you roll complications, and this one I'm going to be a little more strict about than I was about the ones previous. This will be the Ghost Totem Keeper Aware, which is a 6. So as things go wrong, if that touches down, you then become to the point where you have to worry about all of the rest of them. I will, however, because of that, I am going to go ahead and change the guards and the Foghound resistance down, because they are, for the most part, otherwise entangled at the moment. They can be a problem, but you are not necessarily going to rank as high as you would have a little bit ago. All right, so tell me what you do.
Is this a house on the water, or is it?
It's not terribly far off of it. You can get close, but you have to then go further inland to actually see what it is like to get to the house itself and see.
Okay, let's go to the house. Is there a gate around it, or is it like a townhouse?
Well, there's a gate. The gates here in front. You have a wall along the back, and on the other side of the wall are some hedges. You would be able to go over. It would require a little bit to get over. The front aspect of it, I mean, you hear some cries and such coming, and you see a number of ghosts walking or floating towards the house itself. You've got the guards that are rushing in, trying to get the various items such they have that can actually help keep them trapped. These are not people who have spirit bottles necessarily well at hand. They don't have the abilities as a Whisper does. Mm-hmm. There's no proton packs in evidence.
So maybe the gate's just open. Can we just go through the front?
Yeah.
Through the front, more people are sort of paying attention because that's where the ghosts and such are coming.
Well, the back is what, over the wall?
Yeah, the back you can go over the wall.
Let's go over the wall.
Yeah.
There's mass mayhem. I don't think we have to be too sneaky.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so in this case, you can do if you want to do once again, or I don't know if you did it last time, but if you want to do like a teamwork thing for someone to get over it.
Okay.
Without like 2 slip, so like slip over the wall, right?
Yeah, I can hoist him up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If you want to, so what can happen is if he's helping out, it sounds like who's going to be on point here? Who has the opportunity to take stress if the other person gets less or 3 or less?
Well, he's going over the wall first, so I guess he's.
Yes, I guess at 1 point.
Okay, so both of you can roll here if you want, or it can just be max.
Oh, like I said, I have 56 and slip. I don't know what you can see.
Okay.
Unless you want to throw in some support there. Does it cost him anything to do that?
No, if you're doing it as a teamwork action, in this case, is you're distinctly working together. If he rolls a 1 through 3, that can cost you 1 stress. If that's his highest die. If he has a higher die that's something else, if it's higher than yours, you take whatever the highest is. So right now it's just essentially whichever's.
All right. Yeah, I can help him with 1 die.
So that's up to you, Max.
Yeah. Well, I mean, can I take stress if it's not over what?
Well, if he rolls a 3 or less, you take 1 stress.
Okay.
If he rolls higher than that can be. If it's higher than yours, then you use whatever's the highest.
And is this going to get him over the wall too?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Then let's get in here.
Hey, there we go.
Okay, you will take 1 stress though. Unfortunately, what you find out is when you go back to grab him, and kind of get him up over the wall. It's rather difficult to pull someone in armor over. Or wait, I'm sorry. No,
I
Chad got
rolled
the
a
6.
6.
Nope, Chad got the 6. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he slips a bit. Chad, you even in your armor, you actually managed to just like head over, grab him, and so pull him over the hedge and the wall. You are now in the backyard. You see, he's rich enough that he's got some of the electric lights. There's not a lot of them throughout, but there's a lot of them right now. They're sort of like possibly put with an alarm of some sort, and you hear. And you can kind of see someone like running in, like a guard with a sword. And there's the first floor in particular right now. There's glowing coming from a number of the windows as the ghosts are heading through. Now you were told from Jimmy that the third floor is where his desk is.
Okay. Do we want to go into the house and go up to the third floor, or do you think that you can sort of caber up the wall and go in a window? There'll be less guards, less ghosts, but if you fall, it's going to hurt.
You can assist me again, too.
Yeah, I could.
I mean, I don't know how, though. We're not that tall.
I
even
tell you
possible?
what. There's a yard here, right? And this is a rich dude.
Mhm.
There's probably a gardener or a shed. There's got to be a ladder somewhere. I mean,
Can we use, like, discern to see?
There's a shed in the back. You're able to sort of grab something out.
yeah.
You can get up to the second floor. It's not going to reach all the way to the third.
That'll at least get you past the guards on the first floor.
Sure. I mean, so are you going to then, once I go in, are we assuming that the foghounds are going to, like, run out and you're going to take care of them then?
What I figured.
Because why don't you just come with me otherwise?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, how about that? How about you go in first, and then I'll come in behind you, and then that'll at least get me onto the second floor, because we haven't really encountered anyone yet.
Right. We might as well both go in. Okay,
Mhm.
so I'll roll 2d6, you roll 1d6.
Okay.
So 4.
Oh, actually, I'm going to do this. Well, actually, I have some home cards here. Okay, so you got the 4 on there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is both of you working together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at this point, you guys kind of get up and over. Several of the guards are downstairs. I'm saying at this point, you're definitely looking at risky, because the way things are. So, okay, we don't go to desperate position yet. Okay, as you guys head up into the second floor, and as you head up into the second floor, we have Thistle and what was the other guy's name? I accidentally erased that one.
Was it start with a K or a C or?
Yeah, because I'm looking. I've got the thing here. Crowl. As you guys head up over the window into it, you see Thistle and Crowl have just like the room that you're going in have just basically gone in and slammed the door shut. And he's like, what the fuck's happening? It's like this goddamn magnet for the thing. It's like, holy fuck! And as you kind of come over, the window opens. You sort of turn. They're like, oh shit.
I just start cracking my knuckles, like, oh yeah.
All right. What do you do?
Can I both murder and mayhem them?
Well, you can choose one or the other.
Murder.
Murder is more of like sneaking in and attacking someone that way. Mayhem is like beating the living shit out of someone. So yeah, murder is a target with cold-blooded intent, backstab or snipe, executing a killing and leaving little evidence, committing a one-sided serious violence. Mayhem is more the fight.
Mayhem is making a statement. I'm going to. Which one's the leader? Which one's the bigger one?
It's definitely the two of them. Crowl is the leader. Thistle's the one that mouthed off a lot.
I'm gonna go after Crowl, and I take my hammer out, and I just start walking towards him, and I'm gonna just mayhem his face. So that's gonna be 3d6. I can take 2 stress and get 1 more, right? So
Yeah.
for 46, I'm gonna do that. I really don't like this guy. Okay, so there's 1, 2.
Oh, you can also, if you do like slash roll 46, they'll all roll together.
4. 4 is the best I got.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is for the Foghounds. I mean, like you can do some damage to them in particular, but there's enough Foghounds in the room. I'm just gonna have one. You can basically do like a small amount right now to all of the Foghounds that are there. You step forward, so 4 in the risky, and it's as you come in, you hit him kind of hard. He slams up against a wall. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna then move it up to a desperate position. As he hits the door, kind of bounces off, and the door just slides open, and a glowing figure kind of slides into the room. And Max, you notice the ghost you saw earlier looks at you, is like, starts reaching out. So you two are now both in a desperate circumstance as opposed to a risky one. Max, what do you do?
You know, hey, the door is open. I'm swinging hammer like I'm frigging Thor of the underworld. You can, if you want, you could duck out. You've got the Ghost Totem Keeper aware, so this guy shouldn't bother you too much. Why don't you make a run for it for the 3rd floor?
Sure.
Get the stuff.
Just a little like world lore. Like, are all ghosts just like evil? Like, is there no point in trying to talk to them? Like,
some of the ghosts can actually be a little more. Some of them can actually be a little more reasonable if they're relatively recently turned into ghosts. However, the longer they're a part of it, the faster the madder they tend to go. And I'm just trying to double check.
So they're not like Harry Potter ghosts. They're like fucking crazy ghosts.
I remember, yeah, they're not fun, happy
Nearly
ghosts.
Headless Nick or.
Yes, yeah, they're not fun, silly people that you meet. One of the things a lot of them are looking for is a body in which to inhabit. So one of the biggest problems is if they haven't gone completely mad, because it's possible to be possessed by the demons or the ghosts. If they haven't gone completely mad, your biggest problem is that it's going to try to possess you, and that does not usually go particularly well.
Sure. Well, okay. I already have my little totem, which hopefully is going to keep this ghost away from me. So.
Oh yeah, that does remind me. Let me actually, because of that, I'm going to go ahead and put in one thing on the Ghost Totem Keeper aware.
Oh, word. Yeah, I guess maybe I was going to say I could try to throw a knife at this other dude real quick, but I guess time is of the essence. I could try to sneak past.
Yeah.
See, so I would say if you end up running out of here, if you make a roll to escape, you will then go into you'll still be in risky but not desperate. So you will leave Chad, however, in desperate circumstances.
Well, that's what friends are for. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do slip.
Keep around.
Past the ghost.
I can always escape through the window.
Jump out.
Yeah.
Okay. So 6.
Okay. I find the ghost stuff there. I was having troubles finding it. Yeah. Do me a favor. Go ahead and add a tick to your desperate rolls.
Cool.
Okay. So Chad was like, "Go ahead, run! Leave me with the ghost and the other."
Are you kidding me? This is great.
Yeah, so you manages to escape to now simply risky circumstances, so good for you. You rush out and sort of up the stairs towards the 3rd floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically when you come out, you're onto one of a large landing. There's some steps not far. You hear some screams coming from downstairs, and people are running out. There's a few people running down the stairs, sort of towards you, but you don't necessarily...
Like they don't care.
So like they're going to be a little bit more worried about the ghosts. You don't know yet if one of them is going to see you as a threat. That'll depend a little bit on what you do next time. So Chad, you are now alone in the room. You still have you hit Crowl hard enough that Crowl's head is all sorts of split as he hit the ground. Thistle's got his sword out and sees the ghost there. Decides that perhaps getting through you out the window might be the best thing to do. What is it that you do?
I bellow at the top of my lungs, basically, anybody who wants to leave now, get.
Okay, so he's going to try to go through you. I mean, you're kind of in between the closest thing. So do you want to? Are you attacking him, or are you just moving out of the way?
I'm moving out of the way. Anybody who's trying to get out and doesn't want to actually fight me can leave. I'm not going to hurt them.
Considering you've also got the ghost there as well, go ahead and make a roll for what would be the best thing here. Probably not prowl.
Skirmish. So the back and forth of a
that makes sense. So you're basically trying to like move the way so that he can get out.
Yeah.
So you want to go ahead and make that roll.
6.
All right, yeah. So he kind of heads just like out one of the windows, leaving you now in the room with just the ghost. You managed to get on the other side of the room with the ghost, which is pretty good. Go ahead and make a tick for your desperate. Rolls.
Did he make that? Because that was a 2-story drop.
all you saw was after that. You're not so worried about it. He's out of the room, and gravity is taking care of the rest. Like whether he landed on, like there's a chance he might hit the ladder if he went to the right spot. He might land in some bushes. He could just go face down into concrete. But he is right now out of sight, out of mind. You have other things to deal with. Max.
Right.
So there's a couple of you see guards and some family, like with a couple of the family members, 2 daughters, probably 10 and 12, running down the steps. The guards are there, and like there's they kind of stop as they look down and see some of the ghosts, because you're at that place you can actually look down onto the entryway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a large entryway. It's freehand. Do this thing. So kind of like large entryway, steps that kind of come around. This is going to look like some sort of breast with a weird thing on it. And then you've got those going sort of upstairs. Here, you came out of a door around here. You've got guards coming down from this side. So from your left, you got guards coming down. While they have noticed you, they're also seeing you've got some of the ghosts and such are down here, along with some of the fog hounds that probably were doing a very good job of sneaking until y'all decided to ghost bomb them.
Have the guards clearly seen me already?
They've seen you, however, they're also taking the daughters, so you're not quite sure.
I'm gonna try to slip past them.
Wait, directly past them, or do you want to go the other way?
The other way goes upstairs, or the other way goes downstairs?
Yeah, both of them go upstairs.
Oh yeah, I'll try to go the other way, but if I can do that sneakily, like just kind of.
Go ahead and make that's probably prowl.
Sure. Nice.
Damn,
Wow.
son.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, as they're coming down. They're not paying so much attention to you as they hear the screams from below. You go up the other stairs. You're now up on the top floor. Chad, you're now in the room with the ghosts. You've not dealt with ghosts before too much.
You hate them, I guess.
Yeah,
You're scared of them.
And the stuff that you have. Unfortunately, the person who's actually good at dealing with ghosts ran away.
Well, I told him to run. It's all cool. Are there any foghounds left in the room?
No, there was
Just
the
me and the
one,
ghost?
the one you killed, and the other one who ran out the window.
What is this thing doing? Is it looking at me?
Yeah, it kind of looks at you, "Ooh," and is starting to come towards you, wanting to possess you, crawl into your skin, and create untold chaos.
That sounds like a horrible idea. My character, Tag, does not like any of this, and he doesn't know how to deal with it, so he takes his gun out and shoots it.
Okay.
Which probably does nothing.
I was so some of the things are known. Some of the guns, they're not terribly effective, but you probably have some of the stuff with it that would actually possibly scatter it for a bit. So if you want to go ahead and make a roll.
Okay. What should I roll for that? Mayhem? Murder?
I think mayhem.
Mayhem, okay. And I'm going to take 2 stress. 2. So that's going to be 4d6. 6. Ugh.
Okay, 3. Go ahead and tick for desperate circumstances. All right. So you, and it just sort of almost around where the bullet hits, and as it kind of grabs onto you, kind of feel it's just freezing cold digging into your shoulders, and I'm like inside of your body. At this point, I will let you, if you want to make a resolve, because it's spiritually attacking. You can make a resolve roll or take a soul scorched as this would be a severe harm.
Okay. Can my armor do anything with this?
Not against this because because it's a ghost.
Ghost. Okay. I will try to make a resolve roll, which I have command and murder.
So you have 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 dice.
Oh, 2 dice. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So what the resolve roll means you don't take the soul scorched, but you will take some stress.
Gotcha. Right. So I got 5.
You'll take 1 stress.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, and this one you kind of pull yourself away, like you almost feel it. The weird thing was as it kind of goes in, it catches on something like perhaps your soul, which you hadn't really noticed in that respect before. When it kind of catches, it almost starts to you see the tail end of it, which is sort of not totally clear, almost starts to suck its way up as you can feel something going deeper inside of you. At that point you actually need to pull yourself away from it. And get away, and you can still feel like a freezing cold fingers. Like it almost feels like they're still inside of you as it's around. And it's this horrid scream, which you hear upstairs, Max, as it's pulled out of you. And you are still stuck in the room with it, Max.
So I'm on the 3rd floor. What do I see?
3rd floor, there's a number of rooms. You got some information from him to kind of know generally where it should be. There is a door open that you see inside of it. There's an older man, probably mid-50s, still decently well built, still keeps himself up, who is in his nightgown, and he is rushing through, grabbing a number of things from his office. This is probably Finn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Aren't you a vampire? Aren't you?
He knows one.
Oh,
yeah, I just know one.
The thing is, he's a whisperer, so if he was in the room you're in, he'd have probably a better chance of actually taking care of this thing.
Right. I guess that's what I can do, because I mean we can't kill him, right? Because we want to ruin his reputation. We don't want to just murder him.
I mean, if he dies, it's also pretty easy to step into his position. Well, here's the thing, especially if this was an ongoing game, the amount of heat you guys would have brought down because you have essentially, there's a heat statistic that's if you get through basically with nobody knows you were there, it's all very quiet. Your heat is very low. The higher your heat is, the more entanglements you can, or sort of the worse entanglements you can end up getting. But yeah, so you
the haunted house right off the bat was kind of
you have created a gigantic amount of heat. On one hand, it's people are gonna it's things start to spread, so it's one that can be a little bit good, a little bit bad. But you've gone in all guns blazing.
Can I try to First, I'm just gonna try to see if I can get behind him without him noticing me. I'm gonna try slip again, just sneak into the room.
Go ahead, and make your roll.
All right.
Okay, 5. You are still in risky circumstances because you're not quite as close to possibly dying. As you kind of slip in. Complication in this case. Oh no, well, desperate circumstances. We'll put you in desperate circumstances as well. As you sort of slip in, you see that he's got a pistol He has a pistol in his hand as he's going through. So if he does attack, and it's a fairly powerful one. You notice there's some magical etchings sort of along it. So this is one that if it hits you, you're maybe in some bad ways. All right, so he has slipped in. Chad.
Yes.
Wait, you are. The thing has screamed and ran. What do you do?
Is it running towards me?
Not as of yet, because it's sort of turned, and there's like you see some like the blue fire almost coming out of its eyes as it's very unhappy that it did not get to actually probably possess you.
I think I am going to run for it. I'm going to try and run out the door.
Okay.
And well, let's see if I can get out the door. I don't have anything really beyond murder, mayhem, skirmish, sway.
Okay, so in that case, we probably want to. So you don't have slip?
Nope, that's not even an option for my character.
You could kind of do mayhem if you like are out like through the door.
Run through the wall.
Yeah, I could do like a Kool-Aid man. Like,
oh yeah!
Oh no, ghost!
Oh, you're gonna kick out of this, Max. I'd explained to Maggie because I had a Cthulhu shirt on, but it's a Cthulhu Kool-Aid shirt. And so Maggie, I was talking with Jason, and Maggie's like, "I don't get your shirt." And we were trying to explain it, and I was like, "We both like, you're not geeky enough to understand."
Yeah,
it's a 1920s horror author. She's like, "But I don't get it." I'm like, "Because it's from a 1920s horror author."
What's that to do with 80s Kool-Aid?
Exactly.
All right, mayhem. I will roll straight up mayhem. I only have one stress left. So.
Yeah, I will say, with mayhem, you are likely to be noticed.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, damn, son. So what is it you actually do?
So the door is closed, and instead of like jumping out the window like that one idiot did, ghosts are like incorporeal, right?
Yes.
More. So what I do is it's between me. It's like all raging, and I'm just like, fuck it, out, and I yell as loud as I can, and I just bull rush into it, but I go straight through it, and I bull rush into the door, break the doors off the hinges, and I slam it against another fog hound out in the hallway, and I make a sandwich of him between the door, and then I don't even notice. I just keep on running. This guy's like, what the hell just happened?
All right. We'll say take a tick for desperate circumstances. I'm going to say you're now in risky instead of desperate. So as you hit it, you hear, and it almost feels like you're able to kind of grab it because it's trying to hold on to you. Mm-hmm. But because of the way you're moving, go through the door and slam it into. There's a guy that's sort of looks like he's running up the steps trying to get away from the ghosts that are coming in through the front door. Actually managed to hit him, knock it down, and you hear the ghost sort of screaming. It hasn't decided quite what to do yet as you start taking off. Max.
So I'm behind this dude. He's looking through his pistols. Okay. And what is like the safe behind him, in front of him?
Well, it's in one of the drawers of his desk.
All right. Well, I'm gonna use I have Cypher, I guess. Mm-hmm. So just to see if I can see what has he grabbed so far? Like what is he collecting?
All right,
or do I need to roll for that, or is that...
Well, the thing is, it'll take a little bit of time. You see him grabbing some papers. He's going to some various things. He's grabbing a couple things off like the book, the shelves, going to the desk. He's pulling He's leaving a lot of stuff. Like they're kind of flying as he's grabbing very specific papers and such. And a couple things are sort of hidden in some books. But it seems like he knows exactly what it is he needs to save and what can go. He hasn't gone to the drawers of the desk yet.
Mm-hmm.
Though it looks like that's probably the next thing he's going to do.
Can I try to summon a ghost into the room? I don't know if it's attune or spirit anchor, using that kind
of. Yeah, channel and perceive and communicate with ghosts. You can try. It's going to be. They're hard to control.
I just want to draw their attention, but I don't know if that's even possible.
Okay, so if you do, You can draw the attention, but then there will be a ghost in the same room with both of you.
Right. But I still have the totem.
Oh, true. Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, what should I roll to try to get a ghost?
That's a tune.
A tune? Okay, let's see what happens.
Okay. Okay, you are in desperate circumstances here. As you call it in, yeah, I'm gonna go because the serious complication doesn't make sense for what we're doing. Losing the opportunity for action means you wouldn't be able to do it. No, actually, wait, lose the opportunity for action. Because yeah, I could do that, or I could severely harm you. Yeah, so as you start to call it, you kind of hook onto one of the ghosts below with your attuning. Chad, you sort of see the one that was howling as you're sort of running up the steps. But then you feel the pistol at your forehead. It's like, stop what you're doing. So you've lost your opportunity for the action. So you feel it break.
Okay.
And you've now got a gun against your forehead.
Is it on Chad or still?
Well, it's on you.
Okay.
So Chad, where are you running?
I am trying to find him. I know he's on the 3rd floor, so I guess I'm trying to find a way up. Because I got a ghost on my ass. And
yeah, it's not too hard. It's just up the steps. Yeah, you're heading up the steps. You know generally where the room is too. You'll be there next turn. So
Okay.
Max, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to slip past him to the door. Like just slip past the gun. I don't know.
Okay. Basically, get out of the gun when it goes off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Damn, son, that another 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just you kind of feel your hair part in the back as you are. Make another tick for a desperate situation.
Yes, that's not one.
As you slip out of the way as it goes off, and you're able to sort of get some distance between.
What's ever happened? Someone put a gun to your head and they ran away. Or, like, yeah.
I would say, Chad, this is about the time you hit the doorway that they're in, and you see the guy. You hear the, and you see Max slipping like out of the way as you kind of hit the door. And there's an older man who's got a bunch of papers in one hand and a pistol in the other that is sort of swung around to where Max is.
Are these like muzzle loading pistols or revolvers or what?
No, this one revolver,
Okay.
Okay.
and it's got some mystical stuff that's been done to it.
All right, I don't even stop. I've got all this momentum and fear and ghosts behind me, and I don't even stop. I just keep on. I just Kool-Aid Man right into it.
Oh, get out the way!
It's like a new move.
There is some ghosts down there.
Running into people.
You seen that shit? Okay, go ahead, make your roll. Are you just trying to bowl him over?
Yeah, I have my desperate rolls are filled up. Can I use those to enhance rolls?
I think there's more for the. Well, you know what? Fuck it. We're doing a one shot. So in this case, if you want to go ahead and use that, now you have to have at least. Actually, we spent those, didn't we? In this case, we'll go ahead. If you want to use that to raise one of, or you can either take a.
Well, I tell you what. I have 4. I could put it all into vigor and put another dot into mayhem. All right.
Wait, what would that make your mayhem?
4.
Oh, actually, put it into something else because you're actually not supposed to be able to go above 2 until you've unlocked
Okay.
veteran. So essentially, it's wanting you to get a bunch of stuff for your resistance rolls before you can actually
I
move up.
gotcha. Okay.
But it's a one shot. We'll fuck around with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna mayhem on this guy.
Okay.
So, do you want to help me out, Max?
Yeah, I'm gonna like schoolyard him. So I'm gonna get behind him. I'm gonna try to crawl behind him because I just ducked out of the way.
Okay, so in this case, what we can do is an impromptu. Do you want to spend stress, or you want to make it just a teamwork roll?
Let's do a teamwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and in this case make it a teamwork. Both go ahead and roll. If he rolls 1 through 3.
Oh yeah.
What is the attribute we're testing? Or does it not matter?
I'm doing mayhem.
He's doing mayhem. If you're trying to kind of get behind you something, that might be more of a slip.
It's worked so far.
Yeah. Yep, you got 4, so it's above a 3.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
So
yours
I
is
got
the one that wins, right?
yeah, but you
Yeah.
got the 6. So as you hit him, he's actually kind of ducks down below his legs, so that like it's like the childhood like, except at
Right.
full speed. The gun goes flying out of his hands. Go ahead and take another. Both of you take a dot for desperate circumstances. Knock him ass over tea kettle, hits the ground. His papers go flying, and he is in a bit of a bad way right now. What do you guys do?
I punch him until he doesn't have teeth anymore.
Right, not going to be too hard to do. And we'll say at this point, do you want to kill him or just knock him unconscious?
I will say my intention is to knock him unconscious, but I'm kind of in a red haze fear, not really thinking thing. So I guess unless
go ahead and roll. See if you end up killing him, which could be good for you, could be bad for you. A 2. Add to that. Yes, you start to the point where he is just about dead by the time. And Max, do you pull him off, or do you just sort of finally, or Chad, do you just finally sort of realize what's going on?
well, Max, do you pull me off, or do you just?
No, I think I'm ciphering through the papers, trying to figure out
Okay.
which ones we need. I don't think
Yeah.
I what you fucking
Eventually, there's not enough face left for me to punch, and I kind of slow down there and stop.
Okay, we'll say, and plus we're getting towards 11, so we can kind of wrap this up here in a
Sure.
bit. So you know where in the desk stuff is supposed to be. Like you're able to grab the various papers he's got. The mayhem is going on further downstairs. It's only a little bit of a matter of time before it gets up towards where you're at. You got to hear the screams. A quick look out there, Chad. You see that there's a few people that have been possessed
Mm.
and are now turning on the other foghounds. It's going very, very, very badly for them right now. Max, you are able to take his key, open up the secret thing in his desk. What you pull out is some ledgers that have got a lot of information about where things are. A quick glance through it, you see some maps, you see locations, you see information on where to find some of these stuff in the safes. There's a lot of money potentially in your hands right now.
So let's get the hell out of there.
Are you taking the money?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not actual. But I'm saying if you go and grab some of this stuff, like you're looking at,
Oh, I gotcha.
like it's information right now, but that information is probably pretty safe money.
Yeah, I think we have what we need. I mean, we could burn his house down too if we want to like set a fire real quick before we leave. Just to kind
That's
of
always.
really just make the statement.
Are there?
This is where it's a shame it's not an ongoing game, because the amount of heat you guys have just brought on would have definite consequences going forward.
Well, I tell you what. We don't want this guy getting possessed by your crazy ghost friend. So yeah, I pick up an oil lamp and give him a Viking funeral, and I'm like, all right, we're out.
And then I guess we leave the room.
All right, so if you want to make a teamwork thing on just getting out of here, this will be once again desperate circumstances. Is now it's on fire with ghosts. And it's like
We're so subtle.
Yep.
Jimmy's gonna be so impressed.
so if you guys want to make a teamwork roll to get out,
All right.
Yeah. Oh, you slip. I guess.
who wants to be on point?
Why don't you be on point? Because I have 1 stress left.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, Max will take 1 more stress. He did get a
Yeah.
5 though.
Yeah.
As you get away, and this would be if we're continuing on, there'd be some heat left over. You manage to go downstairs. The ghost is pulling itself into the foghound, which you left on the ground, and then you go out the window, and then end up fleeing into the night.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
And man, the amount of shit that would come down because of this.
And no one knows who it was.
I know, right? I mean, it's just like those foghounds. What a bunch of assholes.
They're so bad at their job.
They are.
Summoned a bunch of ghosts and let them burn the house
I
down.
know, and then they killed the mark, and they brought the heat
Oh,
down.
but by the way, we have the ledger.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy's probably going to wonder why 2 of his guys died while you visited. And sometimes that night, there's also
Jimmy, I didn't even know he had guys.
like there could be 3 or 4 sessions just on you guys cleaning up what happened tonight.
Honestly, though, yeah, honestly, this game's super like bad outcomes are likely though. It seems like.
Yeah.
It's sort of, Apocalypse World has a little bit of that though.
Hence the
I mean,
title, I suppose.
Yeah, so it does sort of have trouble. Like you're always risking a bit more than like, some games. You can kind of be almost risk proof.
Right.
Here the risk, and like I just sort of realized as we're going through what the controlled, risky, and desperate, like what it can do is it can move it to the next one, which puts you, as opposed to if you're in a desperate situation, severe harm is immediately what you get. So as opposed to, oh, I took a small hit here,
Right.
no, this I could die or get hurt incredibly badly right now. So that situation actually matters of getting out.
Right.
Because I didn't quite, when I just read through it, that didn't quite click. But that's a really cool mechanic.
Yeah, when we played Dungeon World, I think it works really good for one shots, but we were trying to do a longer campaign where there's a lot of bad things happening because of the rolls.
Mhm.
You very rarely actually just I succeed, everything's good. And you spend a lot of the game dealing with the consequences of what you were trying to do initially. And I think for some things that works here. You know, it's like a heist, and you're playing bad guys, and you're doing bad things, and the situation gets worse, and you try and like you said, we could do 2 whole sessions just cleaning up this gigantic mess we made. Dungeon World, though, not so you're adventurers, you're heroes, but you're heroes that are always trying to clean up your own messes, and it doesn't quite jive with the feel. To me, it didn't anyway. But yeah, no, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
So
All right,
cool.
well, good session, guys.
Yeah,
Good session.
game. Yeah.
Like I said, this is an easy one for me to maybe put up another time through the summer because I've got some time again.
Yeah, Tuesday and Monday through Wednesday nights are good for the next couple of weeks if you want to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got stand up like looks like maybe once a month on Tuesdays. But yeah. So I might put a few things up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. I'd be glad to
Right.
tune in.
Cool.
Good night, y'all.
Have a good night, guys.
Later.
Bye.